All right. Oops.
I'm going to cross-post this over on Facebook and see if we can't maybe get you guys some more heads.
Cool. Sounds good. Okay, so stream should be live. So when we get a chance, we will do a mic check.
And I'm watched later in our previous game, but then I need to go to Militant Casuals. You're doing it on Militant Casuals, right?
Yep.
Nothing up yet.
It's not up
It should
yet.
be live now.
I'm refreshing every couple seconds.
Okay.
Might be because I'm looking for.
Yeah, it's live. So I've got it live here. Started just very shortly. So I've got my secondary computer going. So let's do a mic check, folks. Mic check for me.
I hear you loud and clear.
How about me? Can you hear me?
I hear you. Do you guys hear me?
I mean, technically, yes, I do hear you. The question is, do they hear us on YouTube?
Okay, you guys are good. All right, so we've done our mic check. We've done our silly, entry stuff. Chris Langland has just joined the game. Stefan has been in here already, so I guess we'll go ahead and start our stream. Hey, everybody, welcome back to another Militant Casuals West Coast Jank Tank Vassal Tournament. This is game 13 of the tournament so far. We're still in round 2, and finishing up round 2, we've got about half the games done, so this starts us in the back half of the week's action. And today we've got a matchup between the North Bay's own Chris Langland, a sort of Militant Casual adjacent player, and I put Stefan L, but it is Stefan R. Whoops, I screwed that up. Such is life. So you're now Stefan L. Anyway, we've got Stefan playing on the stream again. He's from Eugene. He's one of my local players. He and I talked about his performance in Game 1 quite a bit. He watched the stream over again, so he's looking forward to getting a chance to redeem himself in his ace play tonight. With me in the booth, so to speak, since we're not really in a booth because social distancing, is the Seal Clubber himself, Rick Riddell, who you might remember from playing a game against Vince Morgado not long ago, in which he flew Vader off the board.
Vader pilot of all time.
That's right. And with us, actually, funnily enough, is also Vince Morgado, who got to laugh his ass off when Rick ran that Vader off the board. So Vince is with us from the Wide World of Wargaming X-Wing podcast, which he hosts on basically a weekly basis. And so I'm going to go ahead and let you talk a little bit about, you're also Militant Casual adjacent, I would say, so talk a little bit about your career.
I mean, I do have to put this out there. I did only start basically at the beginning of second edition. I dabbled way back in the day, running 5 A-Wings with cluster missiles back when that was legal in first ed. But I had to dip out because I started getting very serious about Warhammer 40,000, which is where I come from. That is my baseline as far as all wargaming comes from. I do include X-Wing as wargaming. I presume that that's an acceptable categorization, right, with everyone here?
Yeah, that's fine with me.
Yeah, I won't object.
And Vince, in just a short time you've been playing X-Wing, you've had some pretty good finishes out there at tournaments, both the sort of San Jose area ones, but also at LVO. You ended up in the top 16.
I did have a miraculous run, which I fully endorsed to some kind of miracle, running Luke and 2 E-Wings in the age of Imperial Aces. I don't know how I did it. It happened. You know?
That list is fun. I really I brought that list with me up here after I saw you play it at LVO, and the 2 E-Wings with the proton torpedoes and Luke just laughing at opponent shots is really good.
Well, remember, I didn't run Torp Caddies. I ran rogues with crackshot in R3, so I was very much running a gunfighter list.
Gotcha.
There were the gentleman from whom I drew inspiration. Shout out to my boy Nick Sperry. I believe if I am Militant Casual adjacent, he is Gold Squadron podcast adjacent. He was running naves with proton torpedoes. I just could never get I2s with torpedoes to get the results I wanted.
Gotcha. So let's talk a little bit about the list we've got here. So Stefan, is those of you who saw him on stream before, has a really fun FO list that Vince, you thought was really good. So talk a little bit about why that is.
Well, if you were to move, I think basically 3 upgrades around. Remove both targeting synchronizers and the cluster missiles and turn them into whatever you wanted to put on Hollow and, outmaneuver Hollow or something like that. And really leave whatever off of Vonreg or off of the First Order test pilot. You have basically a competitive First Order Aces list already built. Whereas Chris, this is jank spectacular, and I love everything about it, especially my boy DBS 404, the meme droid of the gods. But I thought Stefan's list probably was top 5 before people started switching out upgrades.
Rick, where did you have that First Order list in your rankings?
I would have to look at I'd have to look at my ranking specifically. I think I had it in the tier I think I had it in like the 6 to 8 or 6 to 10 range ranking them. I think there's actually better FO lists. One of them has Hollow and an Advanced Optics Upsilon, which just sounds deathly if you happen to be caught in its front arc, and just has more ships, more guns.
That's Daniel's list. The Lord Isophane.
Yeah. So that's pretty brutal. But I did recognize that there's something to be said for an Initiative 6. There's only one other Initiative 6 pilot in this entire tournament.
And which is that?
Who has it, Rick?
It might be Vader. It might be mine. But then there's also Hollow, who's an Initiative 5 double reposition ace. And there's not very many double reposition aces in this game at Initiative 5 even, or in this tournament. And so there's a lot of value there. The reason I leaned away from this list when I was selecting mine is A, there's not a lot of health. And then B, the silencer at Initiative 4 just didn't feel good to me. I didn't really like that. And also with the way Initiative is structured in this tournament, the later this list was taken, the better it would be, because you want to be able to pass first player, and if you took it in the first 5, you're almost always going to be moving first with your Initiative 4, and so your silencer wouldn't have nearly as much utility as it would if you drafted it later.
Yeah, that's a really excellent point. Just a reminder for folks that because we did do a draft for our lists in this tournament, and they get jankier as you wait for realsies, we decided that one way to balance that would be to give the person who drafted latest in every matchup the choice on initiative. So Chris had the choice. Chris gave initiative here to Stefan. And we have started setup. And so far we have Dooku and 066 on the board, along with, let's see, that's the Separatist Bomber that has literally nothing on it, 28 points of 2 die attacks. And I think...
Factory.
Correct. No, that is the only ship that is going to be generating calculates for Chris to use his relay droid K2B4, because everyone else is actually going to need theirs.
There you go. Yeah, so why don't you... none of us, I think, are really familiar with K2B4, and it's sort of the Tier 3, whatever that... relay, right? I think that's the upgrade slot.
Tactical relay droid.
Tactical relay droid. Tell us a little bit about K2B4, Vince.
So, like Ben said, it is absolutely 3rd tier. It is nowhere near as good as Kraken. It is absolutely nowhere as good as TA-175. But it is better than the agreed upon worst, which is TV94. And I know I threw a lot of acronyms out there, but essentially K2B4 says that you spend a calculate to add an evade result. So that's a full evade die, unless your opponent agrees to take a strain token. It was not popular right away because of the choice it left your opponent. And if you were essentially outflown, then okay, they're taking a strain token, but they're not going to get shot, so it doesn't matter. As droids became more popular and people started landing the blocks with them more and more often, K2B4 started taking down multiple hyperspace trials, because if you got a strain, you were eating a 3-die. You were eating probably an energy shell charge immediately with almost no defense. It's really easy to lose half on Vader to a shell charge if he's strained, and it's even easier to lose it on something like an X-Wing. It's not going to do a lot in this list, unfortunately, as he only has access to 3 calculates per turn, and there's just not enough bodies to make use of it. But it may come up on 1 or 2 big rolls that keep somebody like DBS 404 alive to get his advanced proton torpedo off.
And it's important to emphasize here, adds an evade result, right?
Yes.
If you natty, you're adding an extra, evade result, which is a fairly rare thing in second edition. Like Nora can do it, and that's, besides this droid, I think that's it.
The Naboo handmaidens, with their decoy ability, add them to anything, but you will never see them in the way that FFG has currently configured them.
Yeah. So we've got everything set up here. Dooku and 066 have chosen the edge lane and one of the middle lanes. The 2 hyenas are kind of riding alongside Dooku. And then on the opposite side, we've got the FOTP and Hollow running as a tandem, and Von Reg out there saying, hey, why don't you fly at me before I do my one hard and get the fuck out of here? So I'm going to go ahead and turn off the grid for everybody, because I cannot toggle it. It will not turn off. There we go. Thanks, Rick.
Board manager in general can.
Yeah, there you go. So Stefan's got his dials down quick, and I think I mentioned this last time. We talked about these. Talked about Stefan as a player. He's a fairly instinctive player, a bit like Rick. Gets his decisions done pretty quickly. Chris, I don't think I have ever played. Nope, that's not right. I did play him once. I lost in the cut to him at the hyperspace trial in Santa Clara. And we were running almost identical lists, so that was kind of a fun...
That was the Age of Rebel Beef.
Yeah, that was the beginning of Rebel Beef. So 066 has decided to start stealthed. And we'll see what happens when they start moving. Why not, indeed.
Free reposition.
I mean, you can make a lot of space up if you wanted to rush it hollow with that. The 2 or the 1 forward basically boost plus, what's their fastest move? 4 forward? 4 forward.
They do have a 4. I like how they have a further K turn than they do a forward.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
That hull, I love the Sith Infiltrator. It is a really good ship.
It is one of the better larges.
Yeah, the only reason I think it doesn't get played more is because a droid swarm is simply better. Mm-hmm. Right?
Yep.
If droids were a little bit more expensive and you wanted to actually have a good high damage support ship more than you wanted to have an extra droid or 2, I think you would see them more.
I was going to say the only separatist ships that I've really wanted to fly are the infiltrators, and if hate didn't cost 9 points, I would be very interested in flying double Sith infiltrators.
Rick, as ever, the student of the tried and true, never venturing very far from what you can find on List Fortress.
Well, let's be fair. I mean, there was a brief moment in time in which the double infiltrator, because of that and Maul and what Maul can do, was really good.
Yes.
And they brutalized that list when they made that particular upgrade scale with ship size, which I don't think they needed to do that, but that's what they chose to do.
The size scaling on that upgrade has always confused me. I don't understand exactly what they were going for, because it doesn't operate at all the same way as something like Snapshot or Engine Upgrade, where being larger benefits you. Like, Hate still has a
Exactly.
very obvious downside, which is you're getting shot.
And taking
Whereas-
damage.
Exactly. So it definitely should have been. I feel it should have been costed to how many force you start the game with.
Absolutely. By making it by making it cost more on large base, they essentially ensured that it would stay the same on Darth Vader, but would never be used by anybody else.
Yeah.
Because it costs too much to be used on a Sith infiltrator. Like, if it's not, that's 18 points. That's literally 10% of your list.
Yep.
On force regeneration when you're taking damage.
I mean, the thing is that it
Uh,
kind of needs to have 3 force to play with, right, for it to really be worth it. And so who are the ships that have 3 force and a force spot? Well, 2 of the infiltrators and Vader, and that's kind of it, right?
Yep.
Right, and they also none of the force users have access to elite pilot talents, so there's no way for them to ever reposition without stressing themselves and being unable to take another action, which is one of the big limiting factors of the infiltrator.
Yeah, that's true. It is kind of a bear to fly.
It's a freight train. You point it in one direction, you go that way, and then you hit the 5K at a certain point.
Yeah.
That's what it does.
So Chris has done something interesting here. Chris has basically pieced out from the 2 aces on the bottom half of the board and is sending his convoy, literally a convoy, around the edge of the asteroid field. So I'm interested to see whether Stefan, essentially anticipated at least facing, one ship that way and is going to bug out.
I would be very surprised to see Von Rake try to push up the board because he loses a fight against 066 one-on-one anyway. There's nowhere for him to arc dodge.
I mean, for sure, like he's got to get multiple guns on either of those ships at the same time to have a chance.
Yeah, I don't see him doing anything but a 1 hard or a 2 hard. There would be no reason for it.
He might 5 straight, but then barrel roll down and back, and then he has Daredevil. Nope, just kidding. He gave himself options, and he is doing the old-fashioned nope.
Yeah, it's going to be a roll. Roll toward his own table edge, probably.
Just boost. Oh, just kidding. Yep, that's a roll.
Yeah, he said, and watch chat because Stefan will keep us kind of up to date with what he's doing action-wise in chat. So he took strain to barrel roll to the right, and now we'll see what he chains together. I wouldn't be shocked to see a boost, as you guys say, and maybe head into that field for some protection.
Yep. And the last thing I want to say, just to wrap up to respond to Vince accusing me of rather fairly of being of liking to fly overpowered force users. Absolutely, I do kind of have that preference. And looking at Separatists as a faction, I have not been able just to play around in yet another squad builder and build something that I am excited about and want to fly, except for Devil Sith. There's just nothing that seemed interesting to me. So that's part of the reason why actually I really like watching Separatists play on stream, because it's just, I'm like, why is this fun to you? This looks boring and meh.
Well, I have, as was mentioned earlier, or wasn't mentioned earlier, Ben, you mentioned you've only played against Chris the one time.
Yep.
I go pretty far a ways back with Mr. Chris Langland, back when we both played Armada, long before I got into X-Wing. And then I lost to him in the top 4 of the Sacramento Hyperspace Trial, quite publicly and disastrously on stream on the Gold Squadron podcast.
And he was playing a droid swarm, right?
Yes. How do you describe Chris Langland playing? When he wants to be, he makes sharp, efficient, calculated decisions. When he wants to screw around, Chris is going to have some fun. So we're going to find out who we're dealing with very
almost
early
like
on.
He was an artilleryman.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's
He
true.
was.
It's true. Yeah, Chris is an excellent X-Wing player. Stefan is much newer to the game than Chris, so I didn't want to scare Stefan before this game started, so I'll just say this now. Chris has miles more sort of tournament play experience here. Now Chris is also playing the lower, drafted list, which means that Stefan passed up on this separatist list if he thought it was good. So if we take sort of where these lists were drafted as a sort of an indicator of their quality, Stefan should have that advantage here, having drafted this one 8th. So this is a really intriguing matchup from my perspective, because you've got something that is very AC versus something that is very beefy. In fact, that kind of paradigm should be very familiar to both Rick and Vince, honestly.
Yeah, it's pretty. I tend to fly very light Rebel list. I never surrendered to the beef back in the day. Although I admit to playing very close to it. But I think if I had to pick a list in this, not knowing who was playing, I would take Chris's list in a heads up, just because it is going to take so long for Stefan to find any kind of angle that he can get past these infiltrators. They take up so much space. Their arc is so wide. And then if you make a wrong move and you get blocked on the Separatists or DBS, you're just dead. You're just dead. Neither Hollow nor Von Ray can take a real hit even once.
Especially a 6-die auto crit hit.
Yeah, true.
Yep.
I wouldn't want to be one of the Sith infiltrators taking a 6-die hit with an auto crit either. To that point, something we didn't necessarily point out here at the time we talked about these lists is that Major Von Reg does have a shield upgrade, and that does mean that Major Von Reg doesn't lose half points after losing the first 2 shields, so keep an eye on that. That did make Von Reg a little bit more, what's the word I'm looking for, resilient in the game he played in the first round. And beyond that, note that Count Dooku does have a stealth device, so until Count Dooku takes damage, he's going to be rolling an extra die. And of course, 066 is playing stealth, so that's going to be 2 extra dice until he decides he wants to shoot something, basically.
He also 066 also has the Scimitar title, which, if I remember correctly, it is more than just a stealth device. I may have to look that back up.
Gives them a jam action.
Yeah. Okay. And so I must have been confusing that with the Dooku shenanigans of a few months ago.
Yeah, so that does mean that he can cloak again if he really wants to as well. It does give him the cloak action, but it is a red cloak action.
Okay, I want to point this out. I didn't want to say it until I saw it, but Chris is, if you guys are gonna see this develop, this K turn with the droids, Chris is corralling Von Reg, Hollow, and the First Order, or not First Order test pilot. Oh no, it is the First Order test pilot. He's gonna put him in that corner. I would not be shocked to see Dooku 2 hard or 3 hard this next turn, because the Infiltrator's dial is incredible for a large, and he's just gonna keep pushing Von Reg towards the bottom of the board. And he's going to go for a block on one of them, either at some point in the next 2 rounds.
Yeah, that is a fair point. The Sith Infiltrator can freaking move. The 4 forward is no joke on a ship like this. The 5K is really stupid. I mean, they took it off the Ghost for a reason, but then they gave it to the Sith Infiltrator. And by the way, I do miss it on the Ghost.
I miss it on the Lancer.
Yeah.
As an Asajj player, the cost of hate at 9 and the loss of a 5K makes me so sad.
Yeah, not having 3 force, so it's not really super efficient.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, too bad. So yeah, the Dooku will risk kind of negating his stealth device with the 3 hard, probably, should that happen. But I guess we'll see.
2 hard clears, 2 hard slots right between those 2 rocks.
I'm still getting my vassal legs as far as figuring out exact distances, because it's so small.
Yeah.
Compared to all of my
experience. The way to look at it is a 1 hard has the front corner of the ship overlap the back corner by like a pin, like literally a push pin. Pinpoint, that's the word I'm looking for. overlaps the pinpoint on the turn. So basically, you just stick a pin in the front corner, and then you rotate the ship 90 degrees, and then you slide the pin to the back corner.
I see.
And
Okay.
Yeah.
For a 1
So
hard,
oddly,
yes.
And so, yeah, for a 1 hard. So I know a 1 hard will not fit around that rock. I'm 98% sure the 2 hard will.
You just caged it that extra tenth
I
of a
don't
percent.
think I would risk the 2 hard. I'll be perfectly honest. I think that you end up rocking the front part of the ship on that outcropping where the shield token is. I think if I were in Chris's place and I was going to do a hard turn, I would risk the gas cloud. To be perfectly honest, because that strain is better than no attack and potential damage. All right, so Stefan continued to make some space there for Major Vonreg. He did do a red Daredevil boost without doing the shenanigans first, so he is not strained. He probably could have if he wanted to, because he's clearly going to have to clear the stress anyway. So I think we've just reached the end of the second round. What do you all think Chris does this turn? Let's start with Vince.
So I'm expecting DBS and the Separatist Bomber to both bank out of this turn. Probably, I think the droid's 2 bank is white, if I remember correctly, or the 2 bank is blue. If so, I would probably guess that, or they might 1 bank. I probably would go with the 1 bank to avoid getting jumped on by the First Order test pilot, because he does have a cloud directly in front of him.
Their dial's binary.
Yeah, I don't think
no
their banks are blue because they're wacky.
I need to find one. I'm gonna try to go scare one up.
Okay. I think when Chris puts his dials down, we'll be able to see. Actually, I can go into Chris's player board and take a look. So, yeah, the banks are white. The forwards blue.
Blue
okay,
to
in that
4
case,
or 3.
In that case, I would expect a 1 forward from both of them into do that. The hyenas, I assume, have the roll calculate same as everybody else. Then so. That's what I would expect.
Let's take a look. They have a barrel roll into target lock, actually.
No, they're not. He's not going to do that. He knows he'll be out of range.
Yep.
Probably just a 1 straight then.
Yeah.
1 straight calculate.
Yep, and then 2 hard or 3 hard next turn.
Yeah.
And they do have white 3 hards.
Hollow and the First Order test pilot don't really have a good angle to jump on them right now. Between the gas cloud and the rock, you'd be worried about flying into each other, essentially, with the way they're currently set up.
Yeah, I think 066 obviously. I think you're right that this is a setup for 066 to go straight, or maybe 3 bank. But I think a 3 bank hits that gas cloud, so I'd expect him to go straight, and Dooku to do a hard turn of some kind to engage inside those rocks. I do think that the droids are a bit out of position to enter that engagement right away. And if Stefan sees that, I would not be surprised to see both the FOTP and Hollow kind of go 3 bank in to get guns on Dooku first. There's probably an opportunity for Major Vonreg to do like a 3 forward blue and then, barrel roll boost or barrel roll target lock, barrel roll, or something like that, to get all 3 guns on Dooku if Chris is not careful. I mean, that might also be an argument for Dooku just doing a 1 forward and coming in later. All right.
Yeah, I'm not experienced with how one plays a cloak token, so I won't comment, or I don't want to offer a whole lot of comment on what he's going to do. But okay, that's exactly what I would have done, because this opens up room for
2 bank.
It opens up room for Dooku. If you don't want to dive into that hole, you could just follow 066 around the corner.
Oh, just the 1 bank.
Yeah, I mean, that clears a lot of distance, and obviously 066 now can engage this turn. He might not have arc on the FOTP or Hollow, depending on what they choose to do here.
Vonreg's not in a good spot currently.
Yeah, I agree.
I think you lock Vonreg here.
I agree with that, because he's going to run. Unless he turned in which case, oh dear God.
Well, if he turned in...
I mean, a 1 hard is blue, so he could have.
Yes.
And he could then... Oh, there.
Ooh,
see,
there
Rick? I told you.
Yeah, you
Hey,
did.
I gave myself a moment. I said it was point something.
That's
Chris rotating
pretty.
the dial because he doesn't believe it.
That's pretty close. But yeah.
Well, I just want to point out, I'm the one who said the 3-bank was the play.
Oh,
And he takes the free
Oof,
damage.
and he takes the shield damage for his trouble. So Dooku will not be firing this turn.
And he
Dooku
just
loses.
lost his-
Oh god, he lost the stealth device.
he
You're
lost
right,
his stealth
Vince.
device.
Oh, that's brutal.
This is the kind of screw up that turns games real quick.
Yeah.
It's just a question of whether or not Stefan thought that was going to clear.
Yeah, that was a Ben class fuck up right there.
I don't know. I think I call that a Rick class.
No, he didn't go off the board. By the way, the 2 hards are blue on those droids, so that probably is what he does here to get those in the fight. Though I think it does leave DBS 404 probably too far away.
Yeah, you called it.
Yeah.
No, it'd be too far for a 2-hard roll into a lock, I feel like.
Oof, it's yeah. I think you're right. I think
Right on the edge, but it's
yeah.
not anymore. It's not.
Oh, so FOTP doesn't do a bank, so he's going to probably have to do that barrel roll.
Oh, don't roll focus, Stefan. Or don't roll boost. Do not do it.
No, he'll probably roll target lock. Would be my guess. He really wants to get Hollow's cluster missiles off at some point.
Roll lock?
no,
No, it has to
Or
lock
lock
roll.
roll. Sorry. Yeah. Lock roll. Oh,
Okay, so he's not locking.
yeah. And that's probably the right move to avoid arcs and also give him a chance to sort of come in behind. Now he's got to worry. Ooh, going there, he's got to worry that DBS 404.
This is.
Oof.
That's 2 straight lock roll all day. Yep, here it comes. Chris is absolutely going to roll lock on him. 100%.
Man. Oh, Stefan. You were so safe.
Yep.
All day. All day.
Yep,
there it is.
So takes the target lock. And so we'll see 6 dice going at 3.
Oh, no. 3 unmodified, by the way.
Yep.
And 404's is double. He's got that calculate factory.
Well, he's got he has A calculate.
Yep.
I just want to point out how if he hadn't rocked Dooku,
Yeah, this would be.
that's a dead first order test pilot by almost every metric I'm running in my mind right now. He's absolutely dead.
Well, he's definitely going to lose his shields here. Hollow is taking the target lock, which is a good call. I'd probably barrel. Well, never mind.
No, he's just going to throw. He's going to hope to trade. This is a trade.
Yeah.
Oh no, he's going to pass the evade to the first order test pilot.
Yes, he is. He's going to pass that evade. That's really smart. Also, bear in mind that he's going to be able to cluster missile both those droids if he wants to.
No, the second droid's at range 3.
Ah, right.
It's either at range. It's either at range 3 or it's 100% through a cloud.
Or both.
Yeah, and if it's at range 3, obviously he can't do it. So if I'm him here, yeah, he's straining Von Reg. I definitely do at least a boost to get out of 066 arc.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Or if he barrel rolls to the left and then boosts, he gets in on range 1 on Count Dooku, or close to it, which is... All right, looks like he's going to try to put all guns maybe on DBS 404.
I would have barreled and boosted into Dooku.
That's free damage. I
think so too. Especially since Dooku lost that shield. DBS 404 is pretty dangerous, but Dooku and 066 are way more dangerous. I'm not
DBS
convinced.
404 is not shooting you.
True that, but I mean in the long run, Rick.
Also,
066 may still have range on.
He does.
Hollow there, or Von Rig there, which is not what you want.
I think it's very close, but I think that's an open shot too.
Yeah.
Correct.
Well, unlikely. I mean, it would be 4, so instead it's 3 a die with a lock against 3 die with an evade. It's close.
Also, I don't think he got range on DBS 404 there either.
He doesn't.
Nope.
He's hoping this is a trade. He's gonna. I really think he's gonna pass that evade up to the first order test pilot, and try to trade half on the FOTP to kill 404.
Yeah.
Because he's going to take a damage when he shoots anyway.
The problem for him there is that trade is close in points. The first order test pilot is 62, so losing half on that is, 31, and the DBS 404 is only 36 points, so it's not necessarily the best trade here.
It's also not a good spot for the next turn because that bomber is going to have choice of target.
Yep.
The bomber one hards and calculates and just gums up the works.
Yep.
Yeah. And that's assuming that DBS 404 even dies.
Which I don't think he does, to be perfectly honest here. I think Stefan is going to have to roll like no man has rolled before to kill him.
Oh my god, he can double cluster. He can cluster here.
He can cluster.
Why is there a lock from the first order test pilot on the board?
He put it on hollow so that hollow could then pass it to somebody if he needed to.
But he rolled into a boost.
I think that was from turn 1.
Yep.
Okay, I must have not been.
I didn't notice it either. I didn't notice it either. I'll be honest.
So this has to be hollow.
Yep, this would be hollow firing first. Spending the target lock, which means he won't be able to follow up with a cluster shot on the other. But he's trying to push damage through.
Ooh.
Yeah.
He should probably check his arc for a crack shot. I think he nips the corner. Is he going to call it? So I hate to say it, but if you're worried about losing 404, this is the exact moment where K2B4 is actually playable. Obviously Hollow is going to take another strain token. What's this?
This is FOTP into DBS 404. Oh.
Nope, this is Hollow's other cluster.
But he spent the target lock, didn't he?
Yeah, but you can still shoot. You ignore the target lock requirement.
Did he check range on him?
Yeah, it's range 2.
Oh, he just realized crack shot.
Yeah, he missed it.
Yeah. On the other hand, he did. Oh, that'll hurt the other bomber. So
Well, it's going to be one crit.
Right, because Dooku and
that's
K2B4. Yeah. Oh yeah, true. Well then, he could also evade the crit, right? If he spent the calc.
Yes, he could. He could do it if he wanted to. The thing is that Hollow will absolutely take the strain because he's not getting shot this turn.
Right.
So you would just lose the calculate. So I don't think he's going to do it.
Yeah, no, you need that calculate for that torpedo.
Well, you want to calculate for the torpedo.
Yeah.
I don't know what the math is on 6 die with 2 guaranteed crits, but this is not going to be pretty for that first order test pilot.
Yeah, it's pretty ugly.
I believe that 066 or not. I believe DBS 404 adds one.
Nope.
No, he takes a crit to himself.
Okay.
At range 1.
Rise and shine. Here it comes.
Well, have we seen the damage get done yet?
I guess Chris just 8-hit crit.
Yeah. Well, no, I think he just hit...
no, they measured it, so he must know.
Yeah, I think he took the... Oh, he forgot the 3rd die.
Ah.
Oh.
Okay, so...
Still blank.
Still blank.
So he takes the crit.
Chris borrowing some of my green die for this one. Okay, there it is.
Wait, what are they doing?
I guess they're running it back? Okay, no.
Right.
Stefan's got him.
Yes, there he goes. So the calc is gone.
Oh, okay. He is going to do it.
So with the calculate, he had expected total hits 3.004 with the advanced proton torpedo. If we cut the calculate...
That's with the target lock?
With target lock against 3 dice with an evade.
Okay. Cool.
I hate to say it.
Now it's down to 2.4.
That can't be right. Well, we'll see when it happens, but I don't understand how a 6 die shot with a target lock is averaging 2 hits.
Well, because FOTP does have the evade, so that's going to auto evade 1 damage.
This is one of those moments where Stefan, being relatively new, is showing. He should have looked up K2B4 before this game because he would know that he could have taken another strain and forced that crit through.
Well, they might have talked about it and we just didn't know it.
3 die. This must.
I think this is 066. No, that can't be 066.
He's out of order. Oh, Chris is telling him to roll the first order test pilot.
Oh, right. Yes, because he has initiative, so he's correct. The first order test pilot does fire first.
No, you don't add a hit, my brother. You got to reroll all 4.
Well, no, he rerolls 1. He needs to add 1 red die for range 1.
Okay.
It needs to be a rolled die. So you add it, and then he just re-rolls it as if... Yeah. So if you roll too few, you just roll 1 additional or whatever additional number of dice you need to. And that is a terrible roll for FOTP.
Yeah. Here it comes.
It looks like a Vader roll, actually.
Yeah, the first time in ever that Vader has done 0 damage on a target locked focus shot. That will never happen again in the history of X-Wing ever.
All right, ouch time. 6 dice.
Yeah.
Let's see it. What do we got?
I think this will be the most dice I've ever seen rolled in Vassal.
Most dice you can actually roll at all.
I thought 7 was the up limit.
Nope. Rules are capped at 6.
Yep.
You can add results beyond 6, but you cannot roll more than 6.
Yep, that's correct. Here comes 6 dice.
Hey, what was that about 2 hits, Rick?
That is Stefan's luck.
All right, re-rolling 2. Bet you wish you had to calculate.
He needs to add that crit, too.
Yep.
Get there. Chris always makes sure to spend his token before he uses it.
He get nothing. Okay, he got 5.
All right, so there's 5.
Hey, imagine if he had that calculate.
Imagine if he had that. Well, I mean, the bomber's going to be happy he didn't take a crit.
Oh, wow.
Oh, good dodge.
So two shields ultimately lost here. I think if you're Stefan, you do take that trade. Kinda.
You're very happy with that.
You're very happy with that.
More importantly, you got the 1 charge on the munition out of there.
That's true.
And so DBS 404 has to reload.
Oh, DBS 404 takes a console fire.
Console fire.
So DBS 404 should be at half now?
No, he's 1 above.
Because he took 2 damage earlier plus this crit, right? So he's at 3?
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's half points.
Or no. He only took 1 from Hollow, if I remember. He rolled 1 evade.
Well, he's down to 4 hull
Before
before this crit. Unless
Are
he
they 5 or 6.
Yeah. I don't know. I thought they were 6.
Double checking.
I'm
Bombers
looking
are 5.
Oh, they're 5. Okay. Gotcha.
I'm scrolling.
So he is at 3.
back up.
He is at 3 health, but he's not at half points. So they start at 5. You're right.
He is missing 2 damage cards from his damage deck. That's it.
Yeah, Rick, I'm reading the results now. The 3 die from Hollow after he spent the lock was 2 hits and a blank, and then Chris rolled evade blank. I'm checking chat directly.
Yeah. By the way, Brian makes an excellent point that you can't crack shot on a munition.
Oh, that's a great point.
Well, we did. To be fair, he didn't call his cluster missile at the time, so we had no way of knowing that.
Yes, he did.
Did he?
He did. He typed cluster into the chat.
It's fine. Rick knew when he was saying, "Did he forget crack shot?" So let's just blame Rick. So here we have a 3-on-4 shot. Actually, 3-on-3, right? Because Major Von Rig is strained.
That's not bad for no
2
dice.
hits is good.
Ooh.
Wait.
And that evade. Also,
That's
Oh, right.
dice.
It's right. 3-on-4 is correct because it would be 5. No. Did he roll too many green dice?
Firing options.
No, that's correct. That depends.
That is a strain token there, right? Yeah, there we go. He realized.
Okay, he dodged it. No problem.
Yep. Doesn't even have to spend that evade. All right. And of course, Dooku is being very sad on that rock right now.
Who's having a rock party?
Yeah,
but he's going
so
to be very happy next turn when he's got the buffet menu.
yeah, his positioning is pretty good to do a lot of bad things to Stefan here. Of course, that console fire on DBS 404 is no bueno. So let's take this from. I think it's pretty clear that like 066 turns in, Count Dooku slow rolls. Both droids could, the droid on the outside could too hard, blue. DBS 404 can kind of do whatever he wants. What do you do as Stefan at this point? Let's start with Rick this time.
What do I do with DBS 404?
No, what do you do as Stefan?
Stefan. All right, Stefan. Well, for starters, you don't have a lot of options with the test pilot, so you either too hard left or too bank left. I would lean towards too hard, depending on how much you thought that bomber was going to move to try to block you. With hollow, I honestly too bank right to start to disengage. And Von Reg probably the fastest blue straight, which I think is a 5. I probably just jump forward 5 and try to get as much distance from 066 as I can, and get as much support as I can from by being behind that gas cloud. But then hollow by 2 banking down, what that allows them to do is to take a green token in support of either the test pilot or hollow or Von Reg, and offer them and basically serve as a coordinate caddy.
Yeah, I think if I'm Chris, I think I just one hard with that droid, the generic bomber, because I think a 2 hard in a barrel roll actually might miss the 2 hard from FOTP. You might not get the block. But of course, if Dooku is 1 banked in there, then I guess that doesn't matter so much. But just thinking out loud there. Now, of course, the first order test pilot has to move before DBS 404 does. So that is going to leave a gap there for DBS 404 to sort of take FOTP's spot if he wants to. And I'd be worried if I was Von Reg about that. If I did a fast forward, I definitely don't want to take that second advanced proton torpedo.
So APTs are only 1 charge.
Never mind. Do they have reload on these droids?
That's the thing is they have reload.
Okay. Yeah. Well, he is sitting with a console fire too, so he probably doesn't want to console fire explode plus, crit explode. But a range 1 shot of any kind, whether it's APT or not, is something that DBS 404 doesn't really want to do.
So looking at this board the way it is right now, I actually think Stefan is in a really good place to completely disengage.
Yeah.
He's not. Both of the hard turns from First Order and Hollow are going to be completely open. Both 2 hards right will be completely open, and you just boost away and probably take a couple evades. Because 066 is in that same kind of danger spot where Dooku was last round, where you don't really want a hard turn because you're not sure it clears.
Right.
Whereas Dooku could just 3 straight from here and absolutely get in somebody's face.
Yeah, I think 066's 2 hard is going to be fine. If he tries to go faster with a 3 hard, he probably does hit that stuff. So do you guys agree then that maybe the FOTP needs to do a 3 bank to the left?
Well, he can't 3 bank. It's not blue.
He can 3 bank. It's white, right? He just won't have an action.
Right,
the real question is, would he get out of Dooku's arc that way? And
the Separatist bomber 1 hard's left, Dooku 1 banks left, 066 probably 2 hards left, and I assume that DBS 404 either 2 hards right or 2 hards left.
I don't think.
Oh, so Dooku is dropping his seismic here.
So that's actually he's planning for the 3 bank.
Yeah, he's planning for that maneuver.
It's a good call, actually.
Yep,
I mean,
absolutely.
That's
actually, he might be going 4 straight to try to cut off Von Reg.
Yeah, he won't make it though. If Von Reg does the smart thing and pieces out here.
Yeah, it's just such a weird spot trying to decide which of these guys you're going to go after.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you, Vince. If I'm Von Reg, I too hard right.
I run, yeah.
And just get out of dodge.
You did it. That's
yeah,
a good call.
Actually, now if Von Reg did a one hard left and was aggressive, he's fine. So I'm not sure I like how speedy that was myself, but
unless he barrel rolls. Nope,
True.
he took the target lock.
I would, yeah, you lock here.
Yeah, he's expecting Major Von Reg to disengage with a right too hard, which, makes some sense. There's the 3 left turn. It actually clears the gas cloud as well, so there I was incorrect.
Did he barrel roll to block the one hard from Von Reg?
I don't think it fits.
I don't think you need to, but I agree with Vince. I'm not sure it fits.
No,
Okay,
it doesn't.
Just to calculate.
Yeah.
Bird is bomber.
So 2 bank. So they're going all in at a Von Reg disengage here.
Does he think he's going to too hard? Do they think he's going to too hard into Dooku? Is that the guess here? I don't know why he would call that though.
Yeah. Well, I mean, maybe he's hoping that he still will have range on Von Reg. Oh. So that must have been an attempt to block maybe FOTPs too hard in a different way, if that's what the FOTP did. And I think that might clip FOTP if that is what FOTP did here. Now we'll see what the silencer does.
This is a very...
And it was the too hard, so guessed correctly.
Yeah, but that block if the block means that he doesn't actually land his seismic.
True.
I guess the seismic was insurance?
Well, I suspect that maybe he thought he would block this too hard from his original position, and when he saw where he was, he decided he had to barrel roll. F the seismic, ultimately.
No. Don't back it up, guys. You just need to hit C. Guys, we're forgetting something. DBS can take primaries at range 0.
That's true.
I wasn't forgetting that. I just was assuming that, that wasn't going to be a choice he made.
I didn't think so either, but...
Considering he has a console fire and he'd probably want to put it out.
Just you do have to remember that DBS 404 is always expendable no matter what he's doing.
Yeah, I mean, it's 36 points. You kind of don't care.
Oh, interesting. He's not going to do it.
Yeah, he's going for a 1 bank or 1 hard block on Hollow, which is fair.
Yeah,
Now, if Hollow 4Ks or 5Ks here, I can't remember which one they have.
4.
Yeah. No, it is a 5K.
No, it's a 5. Jeez.
Yeah, so if he 5Ks here, which I could totally see Stefan doing, that's bad news for...
Yeah, but that's another turn with a strain token.
There it is.
Stressed and strained.
There it is, the 5K.
You're also only getting shot once.
Yeah, if that, he may be out of range of 066, to be perfectly honest. Now, here's
he passes it, the strain to the first order test pilot, since his blues are so good.
That's true.
It's a good call.
Okay, so he did go fast. Chris was going for the block on Von Reg. Von Reg is definitely at range 1 of Count Dooku, so I think you have to probably boost out of that arc with Von Reg.
People always ask me why I am down on the TIE Baron. This situation uniquely is why. He can't boost left because 404 is there, and if he boosts right, he's going to boost right into Arc of Dooku again.
Yep. And of course, if he does do just the 1 forward boost, he's going to be...
Bank boost right, barrel roll
he can't, Rick.
You can't do that in that order.
The
on
barrel
the TIE
roll
Baron,
is
Rick.
the deplete thing. Yeah. And I think if he boosts forward, he's going to lose arc on DBS 404 here.
He'll lose the shot.
Right, lock, focus, try to kill DBS 404. Nope.
He might be out of arc.
I think he's out of arc of Dooku, but he's still going to take that
Problem is
range one
he's going to
shot.
he's going to run out of real estate to be out of arc very soon.
Yeah. Now there is a chance that Hollow could kill DBS 404, but it's a very slim chance.
Yeah. And this is
Certainly.
assuming that, and the first order test pilot's probably going to take a hit from 066 here.
Yeah. So he did take a deplete knowing that he wasn't going to be shooting this turn, which is the right call, obviously. Blow up the gas cloud. Do it. Do it or no balls.
Do it or no balls.
Won't bet. Bet.
No, he took the rock.
Yeah.
Which
took
is
the rock.
good because it opens up the pursuit angles for 066 a lot more.
Yeah, it sure does. All right, this will be an interesting engagement turn here. No shot for Von Reg, which will take us to Hollow.
Bomb go boom. Stefan providing his own excellent commentary. Why are we even here?
Now, if you're Hollow, do you maybe send the stress that way rather than the deplete or the strain?
No,
You
because
definitely
if you
do the
put a strain on that first order test pilot, it's the odds of him taking damage go up even higher.
Yeah.
And he's the only one getting shot this turn, really.
Yeah, I think you're right. I agree. I'm not sure 066 has a shot on Hollow, so you're probably. Or actually, if he doesn't have a shot on Hollow, then I just send the stress over there.
Why is Stefan thinking?
Because he's trying to decide whether he's going to shoot the regular Hyena bomber, I suspect. Or maybe do range 2 on Count Dooku, who has no tokens.
Well, he's thinking about what token he was going to yeet.
Because it is a question. I mean,
he kept both, which means he's definitely planning to do a blue move next turn.
Is he allowed to keep both, or is Hollow a
He sent the
must?
target lock over. So he kept the strain and the stress.
So the first order test pilot has a lock on itself?
Yeah, it fizzles.
Interesting. I've never seen that before.
It's covered painstakingly in the latest judge rulings and stuff.
Whoa.
Oh god, that's disgusting.
All right, so Hollow's got a range 1 on the generic bomber, a range 2 on DBS 404.
I don't know if I don't take the shot at DBS just to stop him from repairing.
Yeah, I think I
Already
do.
repaired.
Well, I think yeah.
Okay, he did repair it. Okay.
But he's going to take a crit when he fires at Major Von Reg. So I make him rue that day. I try to push through 2 damage here and make him die on that crit.
I don't disagree.
Or at
Because the
least
bomber's not
decide
going to do
to.
anything for a couple turns right now.
Nope. Separatist bomber. More dice is more dice.
Yep.
2 hits.
And that's what happens when you choose the wrong choice.
So
The game punishes you.
this is the thing about droids in all their iterations. Every time this happens, you fall a little further behind.
Yeah.
Every single time you do 0 damage on one of them, you leave yourself open to the next attack. That's how they beat you.
I mean, here's why I go for DBS 404. If you put 2 damage through on DBS 404, now he may not fire.
Correct.
And if he does, he dies. You get the points. So
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I understand
Now
where
you're only 1 point off of giving up half on the silencer.
Yeah. I mean,
But-
ordinarily, I would always go with the more dice versus fewer dice. Ordinarily.
This must be 404.
Yeah, this would be 404
That's like
firing
worst
next.
case scenario for 404. Because that's 1 shield for a crit.
Yeah, but it's blinded.
I mean, that means he has 2 actions he has to take before he can get a solid torpedo off again.
Yeah, that's a very good roll for Stefan, for sure. So,
I think that's
and of course, Von Reg did have an extra shield to give because of the shield upgrade.
Yep.
So, ultimately, I think you take that to, take a shield to have a crit go through. Am I getting the crit token?
Okay, so this is a weird place for Dooku to be. There's not really a right decision here.
Be right back, guys.
All right.
So while Rick's gone, I want to point this out.
Yeah.
As much as we both love the 4 straight from Dooku, which, I mean, it's a call you can make. My problem with it is he absolutely did not think the turn ahead.
Yeah, because
there's no good call here.
The 4K, it's not great. It gets you out of the fight. If Von Rig continues that direction, you're opened up to an attack from him, so that's not great. Yeah, I mean, he can't one hard or two. A one hard might barely fit. It might. Wait, does the infiltrator even have a one hard? I've flown this thing quite a bit.
I would not be shocked if it does.
I think it. Let's see. No. Yes. One sloops. Not.
Okay, so I think this is 066 just shooting. Yeah. At Von Reg?
All right.
That can't be right.
Von Reg was at range 3. And because he had the target lock on it. So.
Ooh. Vassal not loving the rerolls tonight.
Vassal just doesn't like rerolls. It's a whole lot of. Damn, the green dice are hot this game.
Yeah, Stefan's really getting
for Stefan.
Yep. He's getting some help.
Interesting. I don't know why he didn't go for the. I really would have gone for the.
Well, it's because Chris had the target lock on Von Reg. Von Reg doesn't have any mods, so he was taking the chance that he could push through another damage or two here. I don't hate it. I didn't see. Did he have arc and range? He didn't have arc on and range on Hollow, and FOTP was also range 3. It's.
Yeah, I guess you go for.
Take the modded shot against no dice, I guess, would be the way to think of it, right?
Yeah, but Hollow's unmodded and down a die. I would 100%.
He didn't have range on Hollow.
Okay.
No, I would have taken the calculated shot into the first order test pilot, because if you can cripple that thing, you've taken a lot of the mobility out of it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't hate either decision, to be perfectly honest. I understand. I mean, I guess you could say, well, wait till you've got a better shot on Von Reg since you've already got the target lock on him. But there's no way for 066 to kind of get in position to get to Major Von Reg next turn. So if Chris is thinking ahead and thinking, okay, well, I'll be pursuing the FOTP going forward, I might as well make use of this target lock here at range 3. Chris is a calculating player when he wants to be, no pun intended. So if he's planning to bank towards FOTP's escape path, I kind of get it. Planning for the next time. Of course, if I'm Stefan, I'm probably thinking about that and planning to probably just go ahead and bump 066, knowing that nobody on the other side is going to have a shot on FOTP next turn. So, and it does look like that Dooku had no shot.
Yeah, Dooku was off by about, I don't know, probably a couple inches of what would be table space.
Yeah.
By shooting the first order test pilot, it's the same dice as Von Reg. Yes, you don't have the target lock, but 1 damage on the test pilot is half points.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Versus Von Reg, where you have to do 2.
Yeah. Like I said, I don't hate the decision. It's still a modified shot.
Yeah.
But it didn't pay off. Okay, so dials are getting down pretty fast here. I expect a 4K from Dooku. I expect Major Von Reg to one hard left and come around and try to isolate 066, probably. which means that FOTP is probably doing something like a 2 hard, and Hollow is probably doing a 1 bank. This would be a chance for Stefan to get all guns on target there without having to worry really too much about modded shots back. Even if DBS does a short K or Talon, they have Talons, right? The droids.
He has to Talon. The K turn is blocked by Von Reg.
Yeah.
I really like a 1 straight out of Dooku here, actually.
Yeah, Dooku has to do that 1 straight.
Yeah, the 2 Talons for DBS 404 are also pretty iffy here, to be perfectly honest. So I think DBS 404 is pretty much stuck.
So DBS 404 might just end up doing a 3 straight and fixing the blinded or reloading.
A 3 straight reload would not. I would like that because it does stop Von Reg's 1 hard.
Yep. And then Dooku should absolutely 1 straight because the 5K won't get him any good shots, and it also makes his dial really unreliable and takes him out of the fight for 2 turns. And considering they've already gone through a third of the game, you can't afford to give up.
You said 1 forward for Dooku?
Yeah, 1 straight.
So when is he going to engage? 50 years from now?
No, he can get around 1K. If he 1 straights, his next move is a 3 hard around that rock.
Yeah, he's back in the game in 1 turn though if he K turns now, as opposed to being 2 turns down the road.
If you K turn and Von Reg's there, you don't have a shot, and he slaps the shit out of you.
You have to make a guess, and if I'm Stefan, there's no way I go right, just because you can't be sure that you won't be staring down Count Dooku with the target lock, right? So you have to think, what is your opponent afraid of, right?
We're gonna find out.
Yep.
Yeah.
No.
It's not a. It's a coin flip call for either of them, which are always the most interesting.
Yeah, for sure.
Stefan would do the 1 hard right.
Oh man, Stefan is wondering if there's going to be a seismic coming out.
Oh, that's
066, by the way, also has seismics. Just FYI.
So coming back to this, I would do the 1 hard from Von Reg, which is why I would do the 1 straight from Dooku.
Rick, the master of playing chess against himself.
There's the 1 forward.
1 forward focus gives you a really nice arc around that rock. Yep.
Yeah, but a 1 hard from Von Reg that direction doesn't have an arc from Dooku, so it's just basically a stalemate.
Well, but it's also adds a little bit to his defense.
Yeah, I just think there's no way Von Reg doesn't go to the left.
Okay, saw that coming.
Yep. Self bump. Should roll a die to see if he will be strained.
Yep, they're clearing it.
Yep, there go the dice.
I was thinking maybe a bank on that one, but I wasn't positive.
Yeah, I feel like in that situation, just
strain time.
Yep. So there's a focus for strain.
And Hollow doesn't really have a good. Well, I guess a 2 straight. But if you 2 straight, you're really trusting 066 to not just come slap you.
Yeah.
I'm learning. I told them what to do instead of doing it for them.
Good man. You taught them how to fish.
Now I don't.
It's so weird not having a clock.
It is. All right, so there's a pretty fast move from 066, the 2 forward. I think FOTP just does the 2 hard and is happy not to take any shots, to be perfectly honest.
I think he's expecting Hollow to be there.
Oh, I still think Hollow just needs to 1 bank. And you get all guns on 066. You get your kicks killing 066. Well, you don't get all guns, obviously, because FOTP
you only have 1.
No, I think Von Reg can get arc. So.
Oh, with Daredevil? Yeah, he can do it with Daredevil.
Well, not just with Daredevil. If the 1 hard boost has arc, but. Oh my gosh!
Nice, very
nice. 3 Talon from the FOTP. Now I do think he gets clipped there, but that's a great move.
Oh, it's so close.
It's very
I think
close.
You're right. Ben.
It's
I think
it's
you're right.
The school of Yeet.
Wow.
Stefan proving he is
well
an
done.
admirable
Hey,
student
look,
of our college.
a talent roll that doesn't go off the board, everybody. So
You think you're funny?
Did he stay?
he did a 2 forward and
he
got
K-turned.
bumped.
Did he do it on
Oh,
purpose?
just straight.
No, you wouldn't. You would do it 1 straight if all you wanted to do was stay in place.
Yeah, I think he must have thought he had clearance with the 2 straight.
That's unfortunate.
Oh, what is that?
That's bad.
Well, it does clear the strain and the.
Yeah, then he needs to roll.
Did he clip the cloud?
It should say yes. It overlapped the gas cloud. Look, 3 things.
Well, that's actually not that bad. He can throw it onto the first order and force a really bad decision. Yep.
Okay, no strain.
Or not.
Well, he's just going to pass that strain to somebody
I was
anyway.
Well, it's obstructed by the gas cloud to shoot hollow anyway.
There's the one hard the direction I told you assholes he was going.
Language, good sir, language.
Now, you're right, though. What makes this actually extra good is he can Daredevil boost and have a beautiful arc. Now, he'll take a shot from that droid if he does it, but...
He'll also take a shot.
I wonder if he target locks that one instead of 066. Nope, he's target locking 066. Yeah.
So I'm jumping ahead here, but you're absolutely 066 drop a seismic next turn.
Well, I'm not sure it would hit the gas cloud.
Out. Yeah, I'm just looking at it again.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit far.
I think Sloop's left next turn.
So there we are. Daredevil.
Now, of course, this risks the same... Oh, it's a deplete. All right.
Yeah. Now, this is, again, sort of why I say, Dooku should have K-turned. Because I didn't think there was any chance that Stefan was going to turn Von Reg into that direction. And now Dooku is out of the fight for another turn for sure.
He's out for 2 turns.
Yeah.
Assuming the droids don't block him in. I see where you're getting at, Ben. It was just the opportunity to let Stefan make a mistake was too valuable to pass up.
I mean, and Stefan is not in great position with Hollow. That was a mistake. He should have one bank towards 066.
Actually, Dooku's going to drop a mine this turn.
Yeah, if Dooku drops the seismic, that's going to hit a lot of folks.
He's going to hit all 3 probably. He'll probably catch all of them.
Nothing obstructed.
Yep.
Yeah, but you're throwing 2 die at a 10-hole ship.
Yep. It's a good way to do it, though.
It's spend it. No reason not to.
Yeah, make him spend that so he's not firing with mods back. Though if I'm Chris, I don't spend the calc, to be honest. I take the 2 shields and move on with my life.
You think so?
Yeah.
Even with that, there's always the chance that you're going to get rocked by the first order test pilot.
For sure, but and maybe that's another argument for keeping the calculate for that attack. I don't know.
Yeah, that's fair.
But I just think like
that arc on the FOTP is so close.
Yeah. That too.
That arc, he takes that shot no matter what.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree because he could get half points on the FOTP before he gets clubbed. Yeah. He does spend it. Okay, so only 1 shield off.
Yeah, part of the benefit of these infiltrators is really maneuverable with 10 health. So if you do take the hit, you want to maximize your health points as much as possible.
Yeah, I don't hate the move. Honestly, it's just how often do you get a shot at 2 shots at Dooku or not Dooku, Major Von Reg like this?
This must have been hollow into Dooku when he just whiffed it.
Yep. Hollow has been rolling poorly. Now he's going to FOTP.
It's not so bad.
Yeah, that'll do at least 1 damage.
Nit crit. There you go.
Yeah, never change.
Yeah. So there's 2 more shields. So he didn't, 066 didn't really get punished there.
66 5Ks?
Oh yeah.
2 sloops.
I'm thinking about that spacing. I think you 2 sloop to the left because I'm worried a 5K goes off the board. Now I know,
Oh my
Rick,
God.
that's your thing, but
Rick, you're the
you know
expert
what?
on off the board.
So apparently I have added to my legacy.
you have indeed. All right, so here's the droid.
Ooh, he punches one through.
Oh no!
Oh, that's
Oh,
tough
he's
blanks.
wait. That bomber's got a target lock.
Yeah. He
This
may have
might not
decided
be-
not to spend it though.
Okay.
Save it for when you've got 3 dice.
Is he gonna, so that's probably indicating a K turn from the bomber next turn,
Could be. Yeah, that could be.
and then you DBS out. Ooh, there's a play there. There's an interesting play there from the droid. I don't know if it's. Yeah, I really like a. There's no way a 1 hard fits from that droid, right?
No, I don't think you get through DBS 404. I think DBS 404 probably does a 2 Talon to our right, to his left, to get back in the fight. But of course, the bomber's got to go
to
first.
get away from that, and to get away from that cloud.
Yes, fair point there too. Yeah.
Well, Stefan, my friend, you rolled entirely too quick. There's no way he had a chance to think
Stefan,
about
by
a
the way,
block
does
before
that
you
in
rolled.
real life too. He likes to
I
roll
do it
dice
too.
immediately.
Rick will tell you, I do it too. I'm not perfect.
Oh, absolutely. But anyway, so I figured out the way to finally cement my legacy then is I need to take the robots into cut at a big event.
Which you know is not going to happen.
Ye of little faith.
Rick, I have all the faith in the world in you. I have no faith in robots. And when I say all the faith in the world, I have faith in you finding some 17-person hyperspace trial.
So Chris is passing on going back and using the target lock. They had a discussion on their end, and that's Chris's call. So
Okay.
So here's another reason why I don't like the 1 forward for Dooku is, back last turn, just to re-legislate this, is now you can't do a 5K. You're specially stuck in the turns, and I it's okay. It's not the end of the world, but it does mean we're entering turn 6 or 7 now.
Turn 6. I would either 3 hard left or I would 2 sloop right.
I don't know who
Guys,
shot.
I think we just gave up half on the first order test pilot.
Oh, he did have range 1, huh?
066 to FOTP. Yep. That was it.
Yep. So 1 hit, 1 evade, and we have those are the first points we have registered, right? No, DBS 404 is half points.
So the current score is 31 to 18.
Yep.
All
right.
Hollows or Duke Von Reg's getting close.
Yep.
That's
matter of fact,
why I passed on this list.
Yeah, it is a 15 health 3 ship list. Not to say I haven't flown that before, but it's gnarly.
Test pilot's just too it's just too vulnerable at I4. In all honesty, I probably don't fly any silencers besides Supernatural Kylo.
Yes, Rick, we know. So does everyone who knows you knows that. All right. So we're all agreeing that a bomb is coming out of Dooku this turn.
Yes, 1,000%.
I think I like the 5K out of 066 just because you can get a calculate over to him with one of the droids, maybe.
Yeah. I just don't think he fits, I'll be honest. And I wouldn't take that risk. I think a 2 sloop to the left is his turnaround call. I mean, he also could... he doesn't need to be worried necessarily about getting blocked, so he could also just do a 1 bank to get in Major Von Reg's face.
Yeah, but he's really expensive. Oh, I take it back. 58 points. You could stick your nose in there and give up half on him and still recover.
Yeah, for sure.
For 066?
I mean, here's the thing: if 066 does get in the way, that does give Dooku time to kind of come back into the fight with Von Reg in an unhappy place, if that makes sense. But on the same token, go ahead.
I was going to say, if he does get the block, that 2K out of the droids, out of the Separatist bomber looks great.
Yep.
I really like that 3-die shot on Dooku.
Yep. Yeah. But if I were Chris, I would do the 2 sloop to keep arc on folks.
He could sloop with Dooku and just be turned right around facing Hollow.
He absolutely could, and that's not a terrible decision either, because he won't be oriented towards the rocks. He'll be able to kind of one forward again, or even one bank.
Just one banks back the other way.
Exactly.
If you rewind the stream about 5 minutes, you'll hear me saying that exact thing.
Okay.
Rick, that would imply that we're listening to you.
You were muted.
That was also the implication I was making.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but you wanted 066 to 5K off the board, so
I don't know. I'm not pushing against the 5K. I must admit, it's just super close.
However,
on a board, it would be a lot more obvious.
066 might block everybody in being at range of that exploding gas cloud.
That's fair.
I'm sorry, what?
Rick's saying that if you
would straight from 066 might make everybody bump in range of that gas cloud.
True, that's true too.
I don't know if maybe he doesn't block Von Reg. I'm sorry, Ben. Go ahead.
Nope. It depends on what Von Reg does. I'm not sure I would want to take the auto damage on 066. That would be his last shield.
But you know what? He's 58 points.
Yeah, it's true.
I almost want to say that the one bank is definitely the play, because Von Reg knows that he's going to have clear space where the droids are right now. And if you sloop with Dooku, you've got a 3-die, 3-force target locked shot right where Von Reg's going to be.
So you're essentially range and it's not obstructed.
Even if it's obstructed, Dooku's probably. I mean, you're taking a chance here. Yep, there it is.
Yep, there's seismic we all predicted.
Yeah, so that first order test pilot's probably taking it. Wouldn't know.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything he can do to avoid that.
Hollow might be able to get away from it, but only in order to do that, he would have to risk going head up with Dooku.
I mean, the problem is Hollow goes before Dooku does. Or no, never mind. You're wrong. I'm wrong. He's going to have that empty space, but of course, if he does go into that empty space and Dooku 2 slooped...
He's staring him down.
Yeah, that's bad juju. I'd almost...
I'm not sure Chris is the sloop guy, though.
Yeah. I think I would one left with Hollow, to be perfectly honest, and follow those bombers. Try to take one out.
Yeah.
I think that's a
Not
safe
a bad call.
play. And given depending on how much space they give you, you might still be able to get away from that gas cloud.
Mm-hmm.
But bombs are absolutely not what Stefan's list wants to see at all.
No, he can't take auto damage.
Yeah.
This list could not take auto damage
to a list that has 14 health. Or no.
It's 15 with shield
health?
upgrade.
15,
yeah.
Sorry, 15 health?
Yeah. It's brutal.
You mean where you could... Yeah.
This is a 2K out of DBS?
Pathetically do 20%
Just a
damage.
2 left turn. And that might be at range 1 of that gas cloud.
Oh, yeah, that is.
Yeah.
But it's a 28-point bomber. He does not care about it.
Yeah, he doesn't care. And it's just 1 health.
And it's at full health.
Yeah.
And I think DBS 404 is probably going to just do a 2K or 2
sloop. Ooh, Chris proving me wrong with the sloop.
Ooh, yeah. And now he's got a 1 bank right back into that gap. And there's the 2 sloop from 066.
Ben's on his game tonight.
Well, I've played this list, basically. Those 2...
Not only have you played this list, but you've also have some experience with Langland.
Well, it's also about, with beef, you've just got to get arcs on stuff. You can't ever...
That's bad.
That's real bad.
Rip. Remember that obstruction you're using to not take damage? Guess what?
Oof.
And he takes the
Not
strain.
obstructed anymore.
Yeah.
Well, he's not shooting hollow this turn. I promise you that.
True.
Now,
the
did Vonreg call the 2 sloop? Because that could hurt.
Oh, and that gas cloud's not going to be there protecting him either.
No.
Oh, Stefan. I'll play taps for you, my man.
I'm curious what DBS 404 is going to do.
Yeah, me too. I think it's a 2K.
Yeah. A Talon roll wouldn't be bad.
It wouldn't. A 2 Talon, also good. But I think he's also going to feel the pressure to get guns on. Yep, there's the 2K.
Yeah, the problem is that just opens up the door for Hollow to come in and blow him away.
True.
But I don't think you can really do anything.
Hollow goes and blows him away, then Hollow is also opening himself up to return fire.
I would not be shocked to see Hollow do a 5 forward the way Stefan plays. Nope, he did do the
No.
1 hard.
Yeah,
Hard.
or 2
2.
hard, apparently. Oh, no, 1
No,
hard.
that's
the droid. That's
yeah.
the droid.
So he's going to
Lock
take auto
focus?
damage.
Lock focus, pass the strain to the test pilot who's dead anyway.
That's
He's not.
that's
Rick's
a good
not
call,
wrong.
Rick. That is a
Rick's
good
not
call.
wrong.
Oh, what did
Who's
Vonreg
dead
do?
anyway?
If Vonreg one bank to the right, he's in good shape.
Great. He's in a good spot.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Hollow's going to take a damage.
Yep.
Yep.
There's the lock
There
and the
it
focus
is.
from Hollow.
Yep. Good call.
Poor first order test pilot. What in the world?
Well, if DBS 404 doesn't die to the first shot,
Yeah. You better focus, kid. Dude. Yeah,
I mean that will be half points on Major Vonreg. That does make it much more tempting for 066 to fire at Vonreg as well.
Oh, he's
Though you could pass Count Dooku's target lock to FOTP for funsies.
No, you can't. It's not on Hollow.
Right. It's on Vonreg. Never mind. Everything's fine here.
Well, there goes the strain. So this first order test pilot is absolutely dead.
What I really thought about was doing the Daredevil boost with Vonreg.
Yeah, I wonder if that would have cleared.
Daredevil would have. I don't think the regular would have.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Chris, and I quote, "Oh, this bomb is going to be fun." He's gotten his money's worth out of this seismic charge.
Yeah,
I'll tell you that.
He does not hit his own bomber.
Wow.
That is the world's best seismic. That gas cloud did work.
Folks, that's 20% of Stefan's overall health just disappeared on one bomb. I just want to point that out.
Yeah.
I think this first order test pilot is going to die in exchange for DBS 404. And perhaps... Oh, right, that's half on Vonreg right there.
Yep. Yeah, yep. Because of that...
Test pilot has to take 1 more damage to its hull.
Oh, wow. So, 34 and 31, 68 for Chris right now to 18. 64 to 18. You guys still there?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Delete that when you edit this, Ben. We don't need that.
I don't do any editing.
Oh, really? I edit everything.
Not of this. No.
Okay.
No, I just let it go.
That's a pretty good natty roll.
And that's
Who's
on
the
DBS 404, I'd imagine.
Vonreg into DBS. Yeah, he's gone.
Yep. Of course, that does leave Hollow with no shot. So I would have been tempted to actually take Von Reg's shot long range on Dooku if it was in arc and range, which I'm not 100% sure it was, just to make sure that you're not wasting a shot this turn. But
And it might help to just start making him spend force.
yeah, and you still potentially take him off the board before he fires with.
Oh, you don't shoot Dooku because then he clears his focus, or he clears his stress,
he clears his stress.
Good point.
which allows him to one straight barrel roll right next turn.
No way a one straight works. Not a chance.
Yeah, there's no way. That's on a rock.
Okay. Oh, but he can take an action for a force, can't he? After he shoots.
I think so.
Be the first order test pilot into Dooku because it's his only shot.
Yep.
Die well, my friend.
Wow.
Hey!
That's 2 natty rolls in a row for Stefan. The dice are trying to keep him in this.
Yep,
I'd imagine
so
you
that's
spend.
down
I'd imagine
to one
you.
shield on Von Reg. Or on Dooku, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I just wonder if you spend a force here to prevent the damage.
Why not? He didn't listen to me when I told him to, so I did it for them.
Ah.
I went and looked, and his damage cards were correct.
Okay, so Chris does spend a force to remove stress on Dooku.
You know, he might just take this to try to conserve mods for the shot and to take an action.
Yeah.
All he needs is the action to barrel roll right.
Yeah, but you don't want to give up the shot on the first order test pilot. That's. I mean,
No, you do that after you shoot.
Okay.
So it does look like he must have spent a force also to stop a damage because he only reduced his shields by 2 here.
No, he reduced his shields all the way down to 1.
Yeah, he already had one off.
He had 1 loss.
Oh, but he'd already taken a damage.
Yes,
Force
from the
plus
rock.
taken from card.
Yeah, so
I think he means the base.
yep.
This is why you use the control click menu in Vassal, kids.
Yeah, for sure. There we go. Yeah, so he spent a force to clear the stress, spent a force to save a damage. Leaves him with 1 force for his attack. All right. So range 2 shots
Oh, this is tough.
from
I would have
066.
shot with Dooku first. But here's the thing: is Hollow and Von Reg both have mods. You shoot the test pilot.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be a 066 might kill him right here. I mean, it's 2 hits and you'll be rolling 1 die.
Oh, he's rolling 2 dice. Strain
Yeah,
doesn't stack.
Yeah.
Oh, they don't stack.
But he'll only lose 1 strain on this roll, so he'll still be strained on the second attack.
Try to
It'll
get
be
a cheat.
3 on 2.
Now we see if that red die luck is transmitted. Nope.
No. Wow, that's brutal. Well, technically, Stefan did need to roll the dice to get rid of that strain.
Yeah.
So
That's great.
That's what we call an old-fashioned slap fight, gentlemen.
Yep. That's better, but still not great.
Force. You got to spend it.
He has to spend that force.
For 2 hits on 3 dice.
Yep.
It's
It's not
range-
great.
Yeah.
It's the
But
only
he's-
chance he has.
Yeah, he did it. He
No,
did
he
it
got
right, but he got him.
He got
Yep.
him.
And he got the kill.
Yep.
That's why you have to do it.
Yep.
It's the same way that I talked Patrick into killing that vagabond.
And Stefan spins his ship into death.
Okay, so where are we at here? 95 to 36. Currently, Chris leading.
Sounds right. Now, both of the infiltrators are just a couple damage away from half points.
Yeah.
And that droid is going to be spending some time getting back into the fight.
1 turn. with the
I
target
mean,
lock
it
out
could
there.
do a Talon. You're right. It could do two. I probably could fit a 2K, to be honest, if you really wanted to. And he does still have a
Bomber?
target lock on. What's that?
The bomber has a 1K, I think. Oh no, it has a 2K.
No, it's a 2K. We
Yeah,
just
so it should
watched. We
probably
just
shift
watched
on
him
to
do
the
it.
right.
So
Oh.
Stefan is in some trouble. We're pretty sure Count Dooku is going to bank between those rocks. I mean, he could do a hard turn towards the corner.
I don't know if it's not a bad idea to just try to 3-bank over the rock.
Won't make it.
It's close. I think you might clip the back with that 3-bank.
Yeah, with just that extra bulb on the top side.
Yeah.
I
I'm
don't
not
like flying through those rocks because it's such an easy thing for Von Reg to turn into you.
Yeah, I'm just thinking of, okay, so if I'm Stefan, what do I expect here, and how do I maximize that, right? So he's got to get some points. He's got to get a lot of damage in on either one of these two infiltrators. So you probably, Von Reg's in a pretty crap spot because wherever he goes to try to maximize damage on Dooku, 066 has a shot into him. 066 will move first too, and maybe the right move for 066 is to get in there and seal off the right turn, and keep pressure on both of those fighters, and let Dooku and unmodded SB do the damage. I'm pretty sure Hollow's probably gonna go around that rock.
I think that's probably a safe bet.
Yeah. So I don't think there's anything Dooku can do to ward off that move short of. I mean, he could if he wanted to. Did you say 3-bank to the right, or did you think 3-bank to the left?
To the right. I was thinking to the right.
Okay. Yeah, I do think he ends up clipping that rock that way, but it might still be okay just to get in the way of Hollow and let 066 and the bomber do damage.
That's what I was thinking.
I might do that just because why not? And then you've got the 2-turn next turn off of that rock.
Because let me paint a picture here, so give me some rope to hang myself. If you 3-bank with Dooku and you do clear that rock, you have a really easy 2-hard next turn.
Yep.
While you bring in the bomber off a Talon roll and like 066 maybe on a 2-bank to chase Hollow and Von Reg, because Von Reg can't turn left or a turn right. He can't risk going head up.
Yeah.
He can't risk turning in front of Dooku and 066.
Yep.
So he's turning left somewhere.
Yep.
It's just a question of where. And if he turns too hard, he turns in front of Dooku off of that 3-bank, and you just get blown away.
Yeah. I mean, Von Reg does have that Daredevil boost, so that does give him some options for reactionary moves. I think if I'm Von Reg, I probably just bank left here, counting.
Yeah,
sorry.
2, 3, 3.
I think just a 1, to be honest, because then you could barrel roll and then do the Daredevil boost and have arc on Dooku if he does go to the left.
Yeah.
You may not be in arc of 066 that way if you plan it right. Well, both players are set, so lots of options here, and we'll see what happens.
I'm jumping in. It's a 1-bank left from both infiltrators, and it's a 2 Talon or a 2K.
He's giving Dooku a strain real quick.
He finally got that bullseye.
Yep.
Yeah, I think
the reason why it's a 1-bank is the 1-bank from 066 basically says, "Hey, Von Reg, you want to turn in here and play? Let's do it."
Yeah. That's what I'm getting out of it. Plus, it'd probably be a block for that 3-die from the bomber.
Now he did just deplete Dooku, which is a great defensive move. So Chris decided just to do a 2-hard. I don't like that move.
Oh, and a barrel roll.
But a barrel roll is probably hurts Hollow. It doesn't hurt.
Ooh.
Oh, okay.
What is he doing?
He's using Dooku as a blocker.
Yeah, but he's dead now.
No, I mean...
No, he's not.
He's got a 1-hard right, I think.
It's red.
Yeah, he can't do it.
Well, what if he gets shot and clears that stress?
Yep.
Now, in that case, he's hoping these two guys don't bump him. I do.
Or
bump him,
he's
he's dead in 2
hard,
turns.
and it'll stay on the table.
I think a too hard right is safe.
Me as well.
Yeah.
I'm making very, very ugly grimaces at the thought of 2-harding in that position.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to do it.
It's not ideal, correct?
I mean, that 3 bank probably would have been a safer move,
What
but
in the world?
yeah, he's going all in on the blocks to let 066 do damage. Now, if Von Reg 3 Talon to the right,
Onrega's sloop does not have a Talon.
SB has repositioned with right barrel.
oh yeah, sorry, you're right. That was the FOTP that did that earlier. Thank you.
I know my
I'm kind of
ace.
surprised. I'm kind of surprised he didn't calculate with the bomber.
He's
You can't.
No,
If you
no,
barrel
I
roll-
don't mean roll at all. I don't mean barrel roll at all.
Oh,
Oh, it fit.
there's the 1 bank. That's brutal. All right.
I don't think Stefan saw this coming.
No, I don't think so either. But I wouldn't be surprised to see Major Von Reg sloop.
Watch Holo pull like the 5K. Just be like, yeet.
Yeah.
He'd be in bad shape that way, though.
Oh, he's taking the lock on hollow.
Yeah. He's trying to get points.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So what I was gonna say before all this started is that one thing Stefan might need to worry about
There it is.
is one thing you might need to worry about is getting Von Reg and Hollow away from each other, because if Hollow took a token, a negative token, he would have to pass it to Von Reg.
Yep. True.
Like he's gonna have to pass a strat. Oh, I don't know if I don't shoot Von Reg here.
You shoot Von Reg because Von Reg will have the target lock because the target lock is passed to him.
Well, Hollow should have a. No, you're right. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh
Yep.
Jesus.
Oh no.
And Von Reg's gonna have to. Von Reg's gonna have to shoot, and he's gonna clear that stress off of Dooku.
Yep. Well, he could choose not to fire.
I don't know if you pass up a 4-dice shot in this situation on the most valuable ship your opponent has.
I don't know that you do
To
either.
set up a perfect block for that ship next turn.
I mean, you gotta. If you're thinking of, you're gonna lose this game. I hate to put it that way, but Stefan's running out of health. Like he's got 5 total health left. I think it's 19.
You put it that way.
Well, I mean, he's in a box. This is the bear cage.
Yeah, but he's only taken 1 shot here, so the dice could
Yeah, that's true.
save him. It won't, but it could, because the target lock is there. So Chris has to blank 4 dice twice.
Yep.
Yeah.
But Von Reg only has to roll natties once.
Oh, is that all? It is the secret to X-Wing, everybody. You heard it here again.
It's the Duncan Howard teaches X-Wing. Just roll natties. You'll
Just
be
roll
fine.
natties. Yeah.
Well, he did shoot. Hey, that's good. That's
going to push a crit through.
yeah. That's half on Dooku.
Yep.
Panicked pilot. Right here. Panicked pilot.
Panic pilot would be.
Or loose stabilizer. Give me.
Stabilizer wouldn't mean that much.
What do we
Correct.
got? Panic.
It is panic. Oh my god.
Oh, the game punishes Chris. It's probably not enough, but the game punishes Chris.
Oh my god.
Well, and he can't even reload the seismics. Oh my god. Everybody needs to realize just how disastrous that panicked is.
I still think he's okay taking a too hard to the right, but it's close.
Yikes.
Oh man.
Folks, that's what you
what
call
would be the
yikes.
worst possible crit for him to get.
Oh yeah, all day.
Oh wait, it's that one.
Now that's not a great roll for Chris either, but he does have the target lock.
Yeah.
Though a crit is a good place to start before spending a target lock.
Oof.
Oh, so Hollow or Major Von Rig needs paint to
Von Rig
survive.
can roll out. He can roll out of it.
Needs an evade to survive.
No, he's dead.
Oh, that's brutal.
Womp womp. Ben with the artful commentating as always. I think if you hear in the background, you can hear the losing trombone, the sad trombone.
I mean, he might get free points from Dooku right here, though. We'll see.
He just has to. He literally has to live long enough for Dooku to fly off the board.
I like how Dooku was just like, well, in that case, I'm not going to spend my force.
You know, there's a very interesting situation I'm seeing here. All of Chris's ships left are I-3.
Oh my god, no, wait, guys, I figured it out.
He could self-bump with the bomber and keep Dooku on the board.
Yes,
Yep.
the Talon roll from the bomber into the one straight from Dooku.
Yep. And he can keep doing it.
I don't think I worry about it. I think I just too hard.
Yeah.
Hollow
problem
can't
is
pass
that-
tokens anymore.
No. So basically, no. Hollow's focusing from here on out. The problem is 066 is not going to get another mod for the rest of the game.
Yeah, but Hollow has to roll hot for the rest of the game.
Yeah, super hot.
I mean,
Like no. Oh, go ahead.
I just want to yes, this is a very deep hole, but it gets closer when you when you count Dooku as having flown off the board.
True.
What are we at here? I'm just want to do math.
Brandon's got the score 129 to 75. So
yeah, but if you count Dooku flying off the board, which he will,
I don't think he will.
There's no the bomber will only be able to stop it once.
Well, that's why I don't think you do it with the bomber, because then you're really screwed. You're definitely too close to the edge, and goodbye, everybody. So I think you just try the too hard and see what happens, personally.
Fair.
Because you've still got... That opens up 066 potentially to 5k here.
Yeah, because if you too hard calculate... Yeah, okay, that's fair. Too hard calculate off of the bomber... And then when 066 closes in, at least he can network it.
Yeah.
Oh no, he doesn't have it.
No, I would say with the bomber, I would say a 2k. Do the too hard with Dooku. I mean, you're gonna have to move 066 first, so yeah, I guess 066. Well, no, you can move Dooku before, but
I'm just imagining
I think you one bank bump with 066.
Yeah, I think that's right.
You too hard with Dooku and you too Talon with the bomber in the hopes that you maybe get the block.
Yeah, I think I agree with that.
I mean, if you too hard with the bomber in front of Dooku, he just bounces, and you don't move far enough ahead of him. You could one straight the next turn, and he'd still probably bump.
You need to do it for 3 turns, though.
I don't know. I just do it to if there's a chance you can preserve Count Dooku's points by doing a too hard to the right, you do it. That's my opinion.
I'm just all three of us are doing the really ugly geometry in our of how do we keep Dooku on the board for 3 rounds.
Oh, and trust me, I've flown enough large ships that I'm like, oh man,
I think you can do it. If you too hard left with the bomber, you end up like right in front of Dooku, right? So
right.
You roll away from him.
Bomber.
You roll away from him and back. He hits you. You one forward the next turn and then roll back. He hits you again.
So it looks like Chris is going for
the same thing.
The self bump save. Stay in Hollow's way.
Now, I would have been tempted to Talon roll into that position to get an arc onto. Okay.
Well, dead.
Oh wow! Did Chris think he was going to bump with that?
I
wonder if he's trying the 5k with 066 here.
What? It's Rick. Stay out of the game.
Yeah, you don't need to.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know why he did that. I think he mistook how far that was going to move.
I
think that was just a mistake.
Yeah, who knows?
Oh, the problem is how much that opens things up for Hollow is actually kind of scary.
Yeah, so he thought. See, that's why I don't think you just. I think you just don't even mess with the fancy shit, and you just try the too hard. But
You just one straight. The one straight would have bumped.
sure, but then you're dead next turn. You're as far away
No,
from the edge as you're ever going to be.
No. Because look at where this thing is right now. If you Talon roll and go all the way forward, he's going to bump again.
Okay, we're gonna see if the too hard stays on the board here. Oh, guys, look who's fucking right.
Hey, remember, I was originally on that train. Here's the next question.
Yes, you're still on the board with the too hard the next time too.
You absolutely are.
And you have the 3 hard because it's white.
And
so.
you have a 3 hard.
Yep.
That is unfortunate.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Sorry.
I mean, it was questionable. I'm not saying it wasn't questionable at all. I'm not. I'm just saying that it's less suboptimal than you're definitely going off the board next turn. You're as far back as you're ever going to be. You can't, I don't think the Talon roll for the bomber lets you go forward enough that you self-bump here because you're not half a ship away. So, or I mean, maybe you could move a little bit forward. I just don't know if there was enough space there. So I figure why bother? Just try to save yourself. And if you're wrong, you're wrong. But you know so one turn earlier. Anyway.
So this is going to move Stefan up to 114 points.
Yeah.
All right, there's the one bank we expected 066 to do. So now we'll see.
The thing is when Hollow 5Ks and gets blocked because of Dooku.
Which he might. I could see. I mean, but okay. I figured Hollow would just do a 1 hard. Don't think a boost gets him out of arc.
I think it does.
You think so? It might. It's close.
He can't roll, so it's only. I mean, he's only getting boosted.
Yeah, and I think he did the right thing. I think taking the target lock for a future turn, probably the right call if you think you're going to get out of arc. Oof,
yeah,
man,
he got away.
Yeah, he got away. So this is really good for Hollow next turn because 066 is in trouble.
066 still has a 1 bank into a 3 hard.
I mean, he also could sloop. If you get the bomber out of the way, 066 can turn around pretty fast.
Ooh, I don't know, man. Not with Dooku still there.
Oh, Dooku won't be there. They move at the same time, so he can choose, who to.
Dooku moves after.
Guys,
oh no, you're right. They are.
Yeah,
okay,
they're all threes. They're all threes.
Yep. I mentioned that and I just forgot.
Yep. Sorry, Rick, you were saying.
Hollow has a win condition, which I believe is quite simply.
It's half points on 066, right?
Yeah, he just has to do 2 damage to 066, and that's game.
Yep. Do we think the round
dips out?
Do we think the round tracker is accurate? It feels to me like they should be on turn 10, but I could be crazy.
No.
Large ships are deceptive. They make you think a game is moving than it is on count.
Could be.
No, it is because if you normally when you look at a board, you're looking at how something moved as kind of your gauge for how long this has been, and with the fact that these things can cover half the board in a single move, it's like, oh, well, that clearly is like 1 turn when it should have been 3.
8.
True.
That is 8. I just counted out Dooku's moves.
Okay, cool. Thanks, Rick. Thanks for confirming.
They set dials, it should be 9.
Does that mean, we're on 9 now, right? Because dials are going down. So
I don't know if I don't run with 066 and throw the bomber in Hollow's way.
Well, that might not be a terrible play because he does have seismic charges.
Yep.
And so he could, rather than trying to engage here, he could get the bomber, have the bomber do like a 3-bank is red, right, on these damn bombers. So maybe a 2-bank and barrel roll away from that rock. 066 just does a 1 or 2-bank to go around that rock. He's not going to be able to really clear that rock if he does decide to use it with the seismic.
It's 133 to 114. So he can give up half on the bomber and still win this game.
Right. Yeah, if I'm Stefan, I don't give a shit about the bomber. It's all about half points on 066 and not taking that last shield, which is critical.
Well, that's game. The last shield is essentially it's over.
Yeah, unless you can get the kill shot on 066 in the next couple turns. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because half of Hollow with the bid is more than the bomber.
Yeah.
Yep.
You gotta watch out though. Hollow can 3-bank calculate and give this guy.
Can floop here.
Yes, but
he won't get rid of.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Ben.
He won't get rid of the deplete. I wouldn't do it.
Okay.
Because if you start thinking about this in terms of how do I get my whole list engaged, you really want to start getting some calculates on the board for this bomber.
Yep. If I'm Hollow and I'm sitting there 1 point away from half points, I am never not, first of all, with mods, and second of all, keeping my options open.
I dare you to 5K.
Oh, 066?
I dare you.
He fits.
No, you sloop. He's slooping right.
Yeah, I think he's slooping to the right. I agree with Rick. Because he still has the option in 2 turns to do something crazy like drop a bomb, or 1 turn from now, basically.
That bomber needs to get in the game. That bomber has not contributed enough, even for its measly 28 points.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Next turn it's going to 2 hard, and it will have...
So this is actually great. Hollow doesn't have Daredevil.
Yeah.
So this is a free shot for 066.
I think not necessarily. He barrel rolls. Yeah, exactly. He barrel rolls right and boosts away.
But he'll never get away. That's the thing is you can't run from an infiltrator. You'll never turn around fast.
Yeah, but he doesn't. Well, that's true.
Because look at this from here. If you roll out and boost away, yeah, he's not doing it. All 066 has to do is 1 bank ahead of you, and he's got his whole arc, and you can't get out of it unless you run far enough.
Yeah.
And also, you're just every time you run, that's another turn where that bomber gets in on you.
And also where you're not scoring the half points
you're not getting the half you need on 066.
Yeah.
Yep.
He didn't boost. He didn't reposition at all.
Yeah, he's relying. Oh.
Yeah, well.
Poor Chris.
I believe the kids these days call that cool.
Here's the problem. Here's what I think here, though. I would have probably barrel rolled at the very least to get to range 3, and also to open up some space on OC66, because OC66 now can get in.
He's coming.
Hollow's face.
That train is coming downhill.
And the kill condition is not go get the bomber, right? You have to get guns on 066, and you have to get guns on 066 in a way where you're not taking 4 dice back.
And because if you don't one-tap the bomber, he'll get that last damage on you.
Yeah. And that bomber's full health. So
That's why I said you have to one-tap it.
Yeah.
Mathematically close.
And I think Hollow does still have that crack shot. But
he does.
Oof. So, if I'm Chris here, I just 2-bank to block the 1 hard and to be in position to go behind Hollow if Hollow goes hard for the bomber.
Also, 2-bank, really nice spot for your last seismic charge next turn if Hollow does turn in.
Yeah, fair. Strategically, that's probably the right call.
I mean, a 1's not any worse. A 1-bank isn't any worse.
A 1 probably does.
I'd probably do the 1-bank.
Yeah. Yeah. 2 blocks more things.
We're probably calling it too hard from the bomber here into a.
Oh yeah,
into
absolutely.
Yeah.
It's green. I mean blue. It gets
For
you in that
3
gap between the rocks. It's
Yep.
it's there to block next time. So there's the one
There it
bank.
is. Drop that. Get ready for that seismic. Take that lock as preparation for your next turn.
Yeah.
Yep,
There it
there it is. Because
Yeah.
he's going to sloop again.
Yeah.
He'll sloop the other way next turn.
Yeah. He's gonna close the gap.
Yeah, it's going to be the scissors.
Now this
It's
is a
just gonna
good
be
stealth
clap.
place for like a 3 bank from Hollow.
I don't think it is.
Oof.
Oh,
Well, it did
oh
do.
God, that's
That's
bomb.
good.
It's this game's over, guys.
Well, he does have the crack shot here, potentially.
Right, but what I'm saying is Hollow's going to take half next turn. All this little bomber has to do is block the 3 heart or the 2 heart off of Hollow, and it's guaranteed half points.
Yeah.
Yeah, the bomber 5 straights barrel rolls.
Ooh, look at you, little guy. A bomber with some squiggles. Okay, all right,
Yeah.
Youngblood.
MVP.
By
Give
the
it
way,
to him right now.
the score at the moment is 129 to 114.
Okay, Stefan did it again,
Yep.
but he rolled out of it, but it's
Rolled in such a way that it doesn't matter, but still.
it wouldn't, yeah, because the calculate vanishes at the end of the turn. Otherwise, oh God, Chris's list would be so good if he had Kraken. You imagine 066 like with stacked calculates.
All right, so
Be great.
here we go to round 11. What does Hollow do here? I think you one hard to the right and see if that gives you play on your repositioning to get out of 066's sloop arc. Depending on which
Yeah.
way.
2 turns to do 2 damage to 066 without taking any damage.
Yeah.
Plus, assuming you don't take it right here.
Because honestly, 066 could sloop either direction, and either direction is good.
No, you sloop right. You
sloop behind, and then you
Yep.
bring Separatist Bomber 4 or 5 straight up and barrel roll over and
Yep.
block Hollow from getting away.
Just don't let him get away from the rock. That's it. Just don't let him get away from the rock.
Well, you also need to make sure the bomber is not near the rock as well.
The bomber doesn't care. 14 points doesn't make the
It
difference.
mostly doesn't. I don't disagree, but I wouldn't be just given the off the board mistake a minute ago. I wouldn't be just giving away damage if I can avoid it.
Oh, hey, I'm not the only one who flew a ship off the board this tournament.
No, Rick, you're out of the doghouse for at least the rest of this round anyway. Of course, you did it with Vader.
You know what is funny here is if he did get half points on the bomber, he'd be 1 point behind.
No, he'd be more than that.
I'm looking at the score. Half points on the bomber is 14. He's 15 points behind.
No, he's 19 points behind.
Not according to Brandon.
For getting the bid, there's a 5-point bid for Stefan.
But that doesn't matter when you're talking about points destroyed, guys. That's only at the end.
Right. That's why I'm. Oh no, you know what? I was counting Hollow, not the silencer. Oops.
Okay.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
So
This could get funny in a hurry.
but it doesn't win the game, right? If he gets half points on the bomber, that doesn't save him. So.
Well, yeah, he has to get half on the bomber and not die.
And well, honestly, no, he needs to do full points because again, he'd still be a point behind getting half points on the bomber. So.
Yeah, it's a bad spot for
it
Hayes.
It is
He's
a
got
very
a
bad
rock
spot.
one. He's got a rock one
No
way.
good move. Your best move,
Yep, there's no good
considering
move.
everything we've talked about, is a water at 2 hard to the left. But there's no way you dial that up because that doesn't allow you the opportunity to shoot when you need to shoot.
You mean our left?
No.
You
have to disengage to not take the rock
got one-
damage.
Oh,
Here
I
it
don't.
is.
I don't agree. One hard to the right and repositioning. You're not near the rock.
But who doesn't use the bomber to block?
He can't get there. Well, maybe.
Oh
he
yeah,
could.
you can.
Great.
Not to mention, if you want, you can't one hard. Now you can't one hard roll because you're going to bounce off 066.
Well, we'll see. We'll see what the bomber does.
It's a 4 straight.
4 or 5.
4 straight and then barrel roll.
4 or 5 straight barrel roll. 4
4
straight.
roll.
Or just chill. Dang. Yeah, sit there.
No, that doesn't block
Yeah.
a 1 hard.
I think you have to.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. You sit there and you are pointed right at his butt if he boosts out of there.
Yeah.
That's true.
Now you're dealing with the boost.
Right.
Yeah, because he knows that he knows that if he stays near the rock, he gives up half. Although, if he wanted to be cheeky, he just sits there and takes it, and you go for a last trade against those 66.
Yeah. I mean, the bomber does have the options of the talent rolls in the 2K, and still has a target lock on Hollow. I think he's just sitting there.
Yeah, this is a tough call.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep.
You got him with the 2 hard.
He did the three turn.
Oh, was it a 3?
Yeah, he did a 3 turn.
Damn, that means a 2 hard actually would have fit.
No.
No, I think it hits the front, but a 1 hard absolutely would have. Because he was way through that bomber on the 3 hard.
Boom, boom.
And that's half points on Hollow.
That'll wrap it up, I think.
Yeah.
1 more sets of dials to see about points.
It's like a Chris Nolan movie. The end comes with a loud wong. Hey, remember? It's Attack of the Clones. We know what seismic charges sound like.
Fair.
Big fan. Big fan of that noise.
I also am a fan of noises.
Loud noises.
Loud noises.
Exactly. Now, this is extra crappy because 066 does have that target lock on Hollow as well. There's a very good chance Hollow just evaporates here.
Yep.
I mean, is that range 2, though?
Yeah, I think so.
I think it is. It's close. Dummy, as they say, dummy close. You got to give it up to Chris for getting the most out of his bombs this game.
Mm.
I think he got damage out of 3 out of 4.
Well, and he put 3 damage on with just 1 bomb.
One time he
So-
got, yeah.
So yeah, there's your range 2. So 3 versus 3 here.
All 066 needed was network to calculate.
And
Range 2 to the bomber.
so Hollow's got to get at least 1 evade here to live.
Is he saving the
Yeah,
lock?
there's a target lock. Oh.
No love
we-
for target locks.
We know
for
how
Chris.
target locks have worked for Chris today. That is not at all.
Focus, blank. Let's go home.
Oh,
Well, I take
still
it back.
alive. Okay, so
Insert GLaDOS. I'm still alive.
now I don't think, now that Hollow has lost half points, I don't think there's a scenario in which
There is not.
he can win, right?
There is not a scenario in which he wins.
Insert 1 hard from bomber to the left and a 2 bank left from 066 because it's the last turn.
I don't know. I kind of like a Talon roll from the bomber. 2 Talon left, and then 066 on a 1 bank in.
I mean, sure, if you're being aggressive, but being
Who are
aggressive
you
gets
talking to?
you.
Exactly.
Oh, right. But when
If
you
you're-
play aggressive, you fly
If you're
ships off.
being aggressive,
I get it.
I've never flown a ship off the board against you.
That was the first time I've ever flown a ship off the board.
I'm just saying I haven't done it. Maybe aggression works for some people and not others.
I wonder, yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter. There's nothing that Hollow is the only chance here is maybe to get half points on 066 and save, get some LOV out of it.
to K turn. It'd have to be a K turn to get shot at 066.
Well, he's got
Not the
sloops.
lock.
066 is definitely moving forward, so I think it's a 3 sloop on these, right, Rick?
No, it's 2 sloops.
It is 2 sloops.
On the talent, on the silent or the BA,
The
yeah.
Baron.
Baron. Okay, 3 sloops. So I think I 3 sloop to the right.
Oh, that
Two.
fits.
2
100%.
sloops.
You just
Both
said
of them
3
fit.
sloop.
Oh, I
Rick,
didn't.
which one is it?
It's 2 dose.
Oh, okay. Thank you. You finally made up your mind.
It is in fact a 2 sloop. Okay, well in that case I'd be worried about getting blocked by the bomber if it does a 1 hard or 2 hard. It does a 2K like you said. So yeah. Ooh, that might block the 2
Oh,
sloop
he's
though.
just said he's gonna give the bomber the kill shot. I love everything about it.
Oh, there's the 5K.
Oh,
Or
no,
he's
it's
gonna
not.
yeet like a psychopath.
Does not take strain.
Not take a strain.
Oh,
That's a 4 die.
you gotta go. Oh my gosh, he can take a strain for a barrel roll though.
No, you
Oh, wait,
can't
no,
take actions. He can't take actions. He's
Yeah, he
stressed.
can't take actions. They are barrel roll or target lock actions. You can't do it.
Yeah, I know.
Well, 066 is definitely taking half.
Well, you know, blanks exist.
Yeah, but Chris ain't been rolling them. Or I'm sorry, Stefan ain't been rolling
No,
them.
Stefan has had pretty hot red dice. It's true.
And he's got crack shot. His crack
He
shot
does
live.
finally get to use crack shot. All
He
right,
won't die with a
4
crack.
crits. Here we
He will
go.
not commit the ultimate sin of dying with your crack shot still with a charge on it.
Let's get 4 crits here.
Also, someone needs to tell Stefan to correct his hull points on Hollow.
Oh yeah, hollow's down to 1.
I can do it.
Okay.
Wait, he's going for the bomber?
What? I guess he thinks he'll have an easier chance.
Oh, cluster missiles.
Oh!
Oh my gosh, cluster missiles! Yes! The perfect ending to a perfect game.
Well, okay, but you can't crack shot then.
No, but who cares?
Bomber should be rolling.
It's
he has
cluster
to choose the
missiles.
guy he has blocked.
He's not going quiet. I'll give him that.
All right, so 066 hits half points.
Yeah.
Spending the charge to fire the cluster missiles. This is great.
He's going to lose by about 5. So even if he does kill the bomber, Hollow Cluster.
Which I don't think he can, and that's not
he
going to do
whiffed
it. So, yeah. So now it's just on.
Now 066 has a chance to just.
Yeah. So there's 066, 2 hits.
Oh, but he rolled out of it.
Oh, natty out. He does not go to 200.
No.
Now, does the bomber have a shot?
No, not even close.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
I just want to point out, Talon Roll would have had a shot on Hollow. I'm not saying it. I'm just saying.
All right. Well, that was a good one. We'll get the final points, and then we'll go in and talk to these guys.
29. Chris has 57 left on the board.
143 for Stefan.
Yep. 164?
$162.
Yeah. He didn't lose by much.
162 to 143 is what Brandon says.
Yep, that's what I think. That's what me and Rick just came up with.
Okay.
And so, hang on. 3 plus 14. He would have lost by 6 points if he had gotten half with the clusters.
Oof.
All right. So thanks, folks, for watching the stream. We're going to go talk to Chris and to Stefan about the game. So if you're hanging out, I'm going to move over into that room right now. Any last thoughts, actually, Rick and And Vince, before we go over and talk to these guys?
That was a lot closer than I thought it was going to be by about turn 4.
Yeah, Stefan made it a game for sure. Also, it helps that you know, a ship went off the board.
78 points.
Somebody somebody in this room knows a little bit about giving back because he flew ships off the board.
Hey, at least my ship was at 2 hull.
Yeah, that's fair, not 7.
But that's still like, I mean, wasn't each ship basically like 50% of their health? So
it was equivalent points almost.
Yeah, 40% of their health, same thing.
It was 73 points to 78.
Anyway, it was a fun game to cast. I'm glad I had this opportunity. There was always action. There was always good decisions to see, and some thinking that normally I wouldn't necessarily have done. So that was fun to watch.
Yeah, you know, and these aces versus beef lists are pretty fun matchups to watch in general, right? Because both players are having to make, as you say, Rick, very different decisions, right?
Also, we should point, this one's just for us guys. Brilliant Evasion was never used once.
Of course.
Truth. Okay, let's.
You're welcome, man.
I'm gonna. That's for Rob, who I don't think is watching right now. All right, I'm gonna go into the vassal table.
Points. It would have been.
Hello, folks.
Hello.
All right.
We were just wondering if I had got the extra cluster missile. If I had halved the bomber, what would happen?
You would have gotten 18 or 14 points more, so you would have been behind by
5 points.
5 points. Yeah. Yeah.
Man.
Slap in the face. Oh well.
So here's what I'm mad about. I'm just going to open up with this. Chris, here we had a perfect situation to make fun of Rick forever for being the only person in this tournament to run a ship off the board.
You ruined it, Chris. You ruined it.
Yeah, so we were actually having quite a debate about that whether you had the space to do a 2 hard, and I thought you did.
Exactly my thought.
I thought you did, but just barely, and you would be able to 2 hard. And my perspective on it was, and Vince was arguing for what I think you tried to do, which was the self bump, keep the ship on the board.
Right.
Which, you know, to me, the way I was thinking about it is like, well, yeah, okay, you do that, but you're as far away from the board edge right here as you will ever be. And if you do that, you're conceding that you can't keep the ship on the board long term. You need the bomber in the fight. So I was thinking, you know what, to me, you just see if you can do it. You know, see if you can do it. If you're off the board, then you're off the board. But you now know what you need to do for the rest of the game. What was your thought process as you went into that?
You know, looking back on it, I probably was being really dumb because I was thinking, all right, if I can kind of edge it around a little bit, I would be able to possibly get that. But you're absolutely right. The closer I get to the board edge, the more dead he is.
Yeah.
And so, well, no, that's not quite true. If I could have blocked it long enough to get rid of the 3 stress.
Right. True. That's true. But yeah, and that's true. I just didn't think that, you know, if you did that, I didn't think that Stefan's ships would let you live long enough for that to matter either, right? Because you've got that math you've got to do. And I do see that, you know, we were talking about just doing a 1 straight, and I see how you tried to do a little bit of a turn to try to get a little bit more of that angle on the turn if you did try to do the 2 hard. So, you know, it makes sense, you know, if you're trying to save time, or, you know, I just figured, you know what, find out, rip off the Band-Aid, and there you are.
That was my initial thought, and it's one of those things where when you don't second guess yourself. I had that initial thought. It's like, you know what, I just need to take it. I just need to take the 2 hard, and what comes. Yeah. And if it's on, then I know I still have a ship.
Yeah. But of course, you know, you're in the middle of like 50,000 different decisions in a game, and it is a different position for us, you know, right? You're thinking through all 3 ships and how to make these things happen. So this sort of stuff does happen. So that was a really fun one for us to cast because, you know, we always like the sort of beef versus ace matchups because it does, you know, from our perspective, it allows us and the viewers we've got or anybody who watches the game afterwards to see 2 very different ways of having to make decisions towards a win. So let's talk about your approaches. You know, when you line up across from 3 aces, and then Stefan, what you do when you line up across from 2 damned scimitars and a couple bombers, which, you know, you've got some experience playing against 2 scimitars and a couple droids.
This looks very, very familiar, and I don't have Wedge with me.
Yeah, right. So Chris, what was your you opened up the game by kind of sweeping around with your entire group. At least that seemed to be where you were headed before you then activated your pincer. You turned the two droids around and came in from two sides. Did you have that plan sort of immediately, or was that something you improvised?
I pretty much knew that if I went down the way that it was, he'd keep up around back. I knew that Von Reg was going to take that turn and disappear. So it was like, okay, let them take off down the and come around. When he comes up through the rocks, I might be able to get a bomb off. I can definitely get the double engagement, and I should have done that.
And you landed on a rock.
Oh, that's
By the edge.
Yeah, so that actually was a debate we were having on this end too. I thought a 2 hard would clip it just barely. You actually were further away from the center of that rock than I thought too. That was like by millimeters. And so I was saying, I don't take that risk. I do the 3 hard. I take the punishment of the gas cloud and just don't worry about it. But I totally understand why you hoped for like the perfect move there, and it didn't end up, punishing you that much in the long run anyway.
And part of this is also me getting used to that.
Yes.
That is having heard people who played a lot of Vassal. The precision of Vassal allows you to make really good moves if you know the board that well.
Yeah.
If you know those maneuvers very well, but if you, I'm used to 3D.
Yep.
So it was like, I think the 2 is gonna clear.
Yep. That actually is something we've tried to say a bit here is very true. Chris, you're relatively new to Vassal. Stefan, this is what, your second or third game on Vassal?
This is actually, I think, my 5th.
It's your 5th, Chris.
I've played. I've played a couple of other games just to kind of get used to it. I'm pretty sure this is either my 4th.
Yeah. And then Stefan, you're second or third?
Second.
Yeah, second. It's very different, right? We're so used to kind of playing from that perspective of sort of like the top, not top down, but sort of like a 3/4 perspective if you think about video games.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so it can be tricky, right, to know where a 2 hard or a bank is going to go in this view relative to something you might feel more comfortable about in 3D. What's your take on it, Stefan?
Well, I kind of see it as more of, the precision, of course, makes it a lot easier to, kind of maneuver around, and I think that the aces are really good for that. I don't know, the first time I played, I boosted past Von Reg, straight past him, right? With like a couple inches or a millimeter, a couple quarters of an inch or whatever. First game.
Mm-hmm.
This game I bumped more, and I think that's because I took chances where I shouldn't have and misdialed once or twice.
Gotcha.
But I like the accuracy of this.
Yeah, I do too. That's an interesting perspective too, because depending on who you're playing against on the table, pieces can get way out of whack. After any move. From your own sort of handshaking or what have you, right? And one advantage to playing on Vassal is when you dial in a 2 bank, that 2 bank is going to be the same every time. That 3 bank is going to be the same every time. So there is an upside to that. What was your approach to this game, Stefan, when you saw these 2, Sith infiltrators and 2 hyenas across the board?
Well, my plan was initially to isolate one of the bombers, especially the one that had advanced protons, and destroy it immediately. Try and gang beat it to death. And when you had put your bomber on the far side, I'm like, ooh, here's my chance. But you had a pincer maneuver going, and that drew me in, and I think that's where I kind of fell flat.
Yeah, we were talking about when you did the boost with the FOTP, we were like, oh no, Chris 2 hards and barrel rolls into a target lock here, and then you didn't get really that punished for that. But
thankfully Hollow goes second and can actually pass a focus. Or
pass an evade. Yeah, that was a great move, passing that evade, by the way. But we were all like, oh my god, this is going to be carnage. And
I got away with only shields.
Yeah, well, you were good. It was also good. that you'd put that damage through on the other bomber so that he couldn't, use that calculate on his attack too. So
I just love the fact that he kept blowing himself up.
DBS 404 is
Honestly,
hilarious.
That did some work for me.
Yeah, that ship is hilarious. I mean, but the thing is, what's great for you, Chris, is it's 36 points, so you don't care.
Yeah, like, whatever.
DBS 404 with advanced proton torpedoes? Sign me up.
Right. This is actually the first game I haven't got the reload second shot off.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Let's
Actually,
see.
managed to use all my missiles. I'm rather proud of myself. I remembered them.
Oh, yeah. It was really cool to see you use the clusters on both of those attacks. That was obviously it helped you again. It stripped that one calculate the one time, and then
I was really hoping for half on that bomber though.
Yeah, I mean it still would have you still would have been behind, but it's a very, very close game. Either way, honestly, 162 to 143 is a good close game. Plus, the other reason I was happy that we got to cast this is you guys both picked pretty much in the middle of the draft, right? So you're janky. You both lists are fairly janky, but I wouldn't say
argue that his list is pretty less janky because he has the ability to drop bombs. And
Yes.
against my list, that was devastating.
yes. Plus, especially that one seismic that caught you with all all three of your ships.
That was glorious.
Yeah.
So again, Ben, I am paired up with a beefy list with bombs and torpedoes. When am I going to face a swarm list, please?
Rick's there.
I've got good news for you though, because the people who head into round 3, 0-2 are going to get something special. I'm keeping it under wraps until we get through the turn because I don't want people to necessarily want to go 0-2. But I think you'll like it.
I'll tell you what. If I were to pick again this list, I wouldn't put Daredevil on Von Reg. I'd put advanced proton torpedoes on FOTP or ion torps.
Interesting. Okay.
So that way, either one could allow the other to shoot ordnance.
Cool. Well,
And I think that would have been the better call here. I mean, I used Daredevil to great effect this time, but
yeah.
I think having a match for something beefy would have been a much better call.
Gotcha.
Because I have swarm killer cluster missiles, but I need a tank killer or a alpha strike of some kind.
Yeah, that makes sense. So Chris, we haven't gotten to talk to you about Jank Tank yet in general. So how does it feel to just get a list that is not optimized and have to kind of decide how to maximize it? How has that been for you?
Absolutely. I love it. I am, like, we're playing a low in our league, at least were until this whole nonsense started.
Yeah.
And one of the achievements in our league is to play with every single faction. And I'm not like...
I'd get behind that.
Yeah. And so one of the things for me, I don't like going with meta lists. Now I've stumbled into a couple, like for example the System Open that I won, or not? No, I won it. I placed in. I was running. I was running the Seer Swarm, and no one. I actually went through the meta list and list fortress, whatever. I was the first person to actually place in a tournament with the Seer Swarm. So I just kind of fell into that.
Cool.
And I don't like running lists. And so I tend to run just random jank, like, this looks like fun. Let's try it out. And I fly 7 different factions, all kinds of crazy stuff. And so this is right up my alley.
Cool. Yeah. What's interesting about this list is honestly, if there's wasted points on this list, it's just brilliant evasion.
Yeah, that's exactly it. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty well set up.
And brilliant evasion even works with stealth device.
Yeah.
Except for you
I
ran on
forgot
a
to
rock.
use it.
Yeah, that was brutal. In fact, Vince groaned when you hit the rock and rolled the hit. We both kind of said simultaneously, "There goes the stealth device." Do you guys have just general thoughts about the game you want to share?
I thought it was a great game.
Yeah.
I had a lot of fun.
Yep. I mean,
I just wish that I didn't miss Dial Von Rig that one time.
What was your planned move there? You did it. What
The
was
opposite direction. I
Opposite
planned
direction.
to swoop around and then use Daredevil after target locking and getting a strain.
Gotcha.
That was my plan, but I just misdialed.
Mm.
I noticed, Chris, that you turn your dials to face the ships. That's a good idea. Maybe I should try something like that.
yes. I mean, I've got a pretty good spatial references, but you know, I was always doing that. I always do that in person. That I orient the dial in the direction the ship is when I dial it in, and yeah, I totally agree.
Same.
Yeah, I do that too. Because I am so bad. If I don't do that, I will send a guy off the board, Rick Riddell style. Vince and Rick, are you guys here? Do you have any questions?
They are
Doesn't
not.
look like they're here.
Okay, they didn't follow me. That's fine. They're just hanging out in the stream room. So thanks, guys, for first of all giving us an entertaining game and a really cool like Ace versus Beef matchup. Thanks for being willing to talk about it.
Totally.
Can I have a different lineup next time, please?
A different lineup?
Like,
you want a different type
against
of
the
enemy?
BB list.
I don't control what Tabletop decides to do to you, but I think you will probably not face Beef again.
All right, sounds good.
All right, guys. Have a great rest of night and stay safe and healthy. And
All right.
and if you're here watching the stream here, also please be safe and healthy. And we'll be back in a night or two with more Jank action.
All right. Thanks, Ben.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Good game, Stefan.
Thank you, Chris, for a great game. Thank you, Ben, for hosting.
Of course. Happy to do it. Bye, guys.
All righty.
Have a good night.
Bye-bye.